Welcome guys, welcome. This is a sponsored live stream. We'll just get that out of the way first. So thank you to DasTactic for sponsoring this particular live stream. We're going to be looking at first look at Sins of a Solar Empire 2. Now I've only just literally picked up the actual key for this yesterday, and I've had a little bit of time just to have a bit of a look. I used to really enjoy the original, like a lot. It's funny because I didn't cover it much because I'm not really a real time player, but I've been playing this one and just testing the sorts of things that I look for. Hi Mike, how you going? Saying hi Daz, happy to find you online, and Tentacles are saying, oh cool, I wanted to know more about this. Well, please ask questions as we go through. I'll tell you anything that I do know and how it's all going to work. I know that there'll be a lot of questions about like if you've actually already got the game on Epic and what that means to you guys and things like this. Spark's saying, damn it, mowing the lawn will hurry to finish and up and watch. We're going to be taking it pretty slowly because the main thing, we will get into gameplay obviously, but it's more just if if there's things that you're wondering about, like there's going to be, like for example, one of the things at the moment on the Epic Store, and I haven't played the Epic version, but the Epic Game Store has got like an entry version to the game itself, and so when the Steam release comes, the Epic, if you've got the Epic game, it will update. So that's one thing that we do know. So I can only really sort of tell you the stuff that we do know. In fact, in the description down below, if you do read the description, you'll then be able to get some information that I know anyway about, like the price is going to be about US $50. It's coming in Q3, so in the summer of the Northern Hemisphere, winter of the Southern Hemisphere, so whichever way you want to go with that. So there's a few different things that we do know about that one. It's going to have all of the playable factions that were in Rebellion. It's essentially what they wanted to do before they released Sins of a Solar Empire 2. One of the goals that they had was actually get at least as much content as like for this first bit of the release, at least as much as what was in Rebellion, and then a bit more. And that's what they haven't achieved it yet, but they're heading towards that way with Q3. So just looking at the roadmap of what's going to be coming over the course of these next coming months, there's a lot to be added to the game. And so we don't have is it the Advent? I think it's the Advent is the third of the factions, third of the races, but then there's going to be two groups within the actual Advent itself. And so I think like it's a beautiful game. I've got to say, it's just absolutely stunning to play it, and it's sort of funny, like and I've been playing it on quarter speed, which is the slowest speed you can actually play it on in the real-time aspect. Like a lot of it, just to really look at the actual combat. It's just, as I say, a beautiful, beautiful game. Hi Michael, how are you going? So even just from that aspect, I've been enjoying it a lot. But they've really, really worked on the user interface, how to make it so it's not like a click fest, or that you've tried to keep track of different things. Having said that, they have introduced a new mechanic which really does change the overall. It makes the game more complex, but you can turn it off if you don't like it. This is the actual orbits of the gravity wells, and gravity wells is a way to think of the actual different components you have. Let's just get into it. So Spark's saying, also heard there was going to be be modular damage to ships, so able to damage guns to stop them from firing. Is that accurate? I looked for that. I couldn't find it, to be honest. I didn't. I noticed that in one, and we'll look at that in detail because there's an active pause, which for me is really, really important. So they've got active pause in the game for single player. It's designed as a really, really good multiplayer game simply because you can build up so fast. So it sort of is. It's a very quick into the action game. So there's no slow build up, like Gal Civ 4, for example, can take a fair bit of time just in the initial phases while you try to expand. Whereas in this game, you do get into the action fairly fast, which is fairly cool. Like if you are if you've got a very short attention span, then this is the game for you. So Rudolph's saying, I'm not in the loop, but heard the name before. How does it compare to Stellaris? What's similar and what's different? It's quite different. Maybe I'll get in and show you. Where does it fit? It's a funny one. For me, like Stellaris is, Yes, yeah. Where is it? It's sort of Solaris is more towards the slower paced game than this one is. It reminds me like just the way that, and also the way it works is that it's just one big map, so you're zooming in and out of one big map. There is different things that do come through. Sizzle's saying the build-up can be fun. It can be indeed, but for a multiplayer game, it allows and there's actually a really cool sort of like a after action report that was done on the. If you follow the link down below, there's like a link to wishlist the game on the Steam page. So if you do follow that link, one of the articles that's actually on the actual Steam page goes through just a sample of a game that was played, a multiplayer game that was played, and you'll be surprised at how much was done within 10 minutes of that particular game. So there's an awful lot that can go on. But I do want to also emphasise, because I hate games where it's just frantic, but I will emphasise that the actual way that they've done the user interface makes it very much easy to control. So we'll go through all this stuff anyway. So Michael's been saying, yeah, you can pause it when you like, but I think the feel of it playing and watching without too much pause changes the gameplay. It's sort of, if you're playing multiplayer, you definitely will be, there's a lot that goes on, but it's not super overwhelming if you know what to do to set things up. So I'll try to show you that as well. And I will be pausing this a lot. I will just say that just while we sort of delve into things and look at the, we're going to scratch as deep as we possibly can, because I've got a lot to learn as well. So with this, this is a bit of this is really pretty much it's not my first look, it's my second look. My first look was just going, oh my God, this is fantastic. I've got to say, I was actually so impressed with the graphics. Sith was saying it's sort of a middle of a traditional RTS in a game like Stellaris. It's a lot quicker. Yeah, it's sort of, and like when we think of games that are like real-time strategies, we think of games like Distant Worlds, for example. This is probably, in one sense, if this is like distant worlds on absolute steroids, in that sort of sense. But I don't know, like the question about the modular damage to ships, I saw what I thought there was the results of that, but I didn't actually, I couldn't see any detail. So we'll try to find that out as well. Again, a beautiful looking game. They've done such a great job of this. There's still a lot to be added to the game. So let's just click and get started. So I'll try to show you as much as I possibly can. Back and through here, what do we got? We've got just the settings. The settings are fairly minimal in this instance. So resolution, virtual full screen, show mesh outlines, yes. So when enabled, ship meshes that are selected or under cursor will have a stroke outline around them. So there's going to be, like, as feedback comes in, there'll be a lot more stuff that will be sort of added into these ones. The sound, I've just sort of pushed this one down a little bit. I've kept the master volume. I might just move that one down a little bit as well, just so it's not as loud. So and maybe just the music down a little bit as well. Actually, if I put the music down and then leave that one in the middle, that should be okay. User interface wise, so you've got things like edge panning, invert camera. So you can, if you like, I know that sometimes with scroll wheels and stuff like that, I know that I like to invert a lot of those sorts of things. But anyway, I think if you're coming from a Mac versus the PC environment, like the scroll wheels do the opposite thing, which is super frustrating. Anyway, I haven't had to use a Mac for so long, and I've had to be using one recently, and I've ended up just converting everything to PC mode. You got things like always show planet names. You don't need them on. It's if you want them on, you can, and use alliance colors. So this one here, the user interface will use alliance colors instead of player colors. This makes it easier for in larger team games to see who is allied and who isn't colored. And isn't allied. And so with the toggle use alliance colors, you then end up got like a you've essentially got a way to very quickly, and this is what they've done. I think the approach they've taken with this game is to think, okay, look, it was a great game when it came out. 12, 13 years ago, and I forget how long ago it's been since the Rebellion came out, so that's a bit less time. But I think I've looked at that and thought, how can we make it so that it's just easier for for today? And so things like this, for example, to show the alliance colours, it will then sort of show colours in green for your alliance, blue for people you're at peace with, and red for people that you've got like open war with. So for a large multiplayer game, that's certainly going to make life a bit easier, but by default it's off. Advanced tooltips, you don't really need these, because in the tooltips it does just say press the Alt key and it will then show you what's going on, and it doesn't add that much more, but you can actually have them on all the time. The Kuzat haircut is saying pick the Psionic Doom faction. Well, that's not in it yet, and so they're still building things over the coming months, and that particular faction isn't in this one just yet. So cluster orbital structures. So when enabled, orbital structures will be clustered next to each other when auto placed. So you can just have that. You can play the game very far back and just sort of let things actually develop, or you can get in really, really close and actually have a look at all the different detail. I'll show you that as well when we get into it. It's really quite nice the way it's been done. The key bindings are interesting because there's so much you can do with this, and so you've sort of got like your core aspects as to the different what to do to do quick saves like F5, load the last quick save, shift F5, things like this. So I always like to look at these to, in fact, the first thing I did when I opened the game up was, where's the pause? There it is there. You can press the pause key, which or the backspace, either one of those, or you can sort of change it to whatever you like. But the tactical overlay is what space is used for. So typically I'm sort of used to using space as my pause, but even if I do happen to press space, it's still not going to really matter that much. And so all of the different aspects of the games, like you've got the control keys to sort of go through the various fleets. I don't know if it's got the fleets in there. Ship abilities. You toggle autocast. You do actually have different things you can do. Ship components. So you've got different things that you can then, again, if you're not, I'm just letting the game do all that for me at this stage. I'm not really that familiar with pushing all the buttons and so on and so forth. So you don't have to play it in a fast way. Planet items, planets themselves. There's a lot of stuff in here, and I like watching these things. And so these are all open for people to, if you do need to use it, the HUD itself. So build orbital structures. There's a whole lot of different things in here. Again, I'll probably just be using the interface rather than using those control groups. So here we go. This is the actual how you then set your different control groups up for your ships. Selection. It's been a long time since I've played the original Sins, by the way, so I remember a lot of it, but I remember certain things with what I always wanted to do. There's the chat, so you've got open chat entry, and then the camera, toggle zoom to cursor. I won't worry too much about those, but there's a lot of keyboard shortcuts. Anyway, let's just exit out of that one. Other things to do, you've got watch, so you can go back and watch your old replays. Now, actually, I don't know what this is. Duration. So this is actually, this is a replay of this. So how long have I played the game for? Around about 3/4 of an hour. So that's about the length of time that I've actually spent just testing things out. So I might just delete these replays. These were just me, farting about basically. So anyway, that's that one there. You do actually have LAN as well, so you can actually go and set your host a new game, save game, join game, etc. So you've got like the different local hosts. So they've really looked after the multiplayer side of things. Then you've got multiplayer as well back over through here, where you can actually then go in and there'll be servers and things. But in this case, I'm probably the only one around at the moment playing it. So anyway, that's sort of where we are. And then we've got single player as well. And so single player is it's going to have some interesting things. You can see that there's maps coming. So the small maps are not there yet. We've got just a medium map. We've only got one medium map, which is the one that we'll probably play, I think. Just a maximum of 4 players, 45 planets. And so it's got 4 edge points are relatively protected as the blade spins. The rich inner ring becomes ever more difficult to secure. The large ones that they've got in through here are up to 6 players. 6, 8 players for that one through there. And so they've got different themes with the way it sort of does work. But I think we'll go back to the smallest one we can play. I would have liked a 2-player one, but we can play 2 players on any of these maps. But if I just click it a second time, it then just sort of comes back to all of them back in through there as well. And so if I go back into Shuriken and just go and create lobby, it's sort of funny because we're in single player, but it still wants me to create a lobby as such. It's sort of, yeah, it's confusing terminology, I guess. So Thorindir Gross is saying, please tell me the game is a worthy successor to Sins 1. Absolutely. It's gone to where Sins Rebellion, or it will be when it release. It will be from where Sins Rebellion was and extended a little bit further on with all the user interface changes. So definitely better than Sins 1. But there's already a lot of new things in the game. So if we go and create a lobby, I can then just go through the different bits and pieces. Hi Rogue, how are you going? So we've got a few different things in here. Now I'll go through how these sort of then work. But the interesting stuff that you're probably really going to be wanting to look at is the options. And so what this one has is it's got the orbiting planet speed can be set to normal. Now it says down through here, this option is currently disabled as we collect balance feedback. So there's a beta test going on at the moment. And I don't know how you get involved, but I would just go to stardoc.com and just have a look and see if you can get into the beta, like you put your name down basically. So they're just trying to rebalance the speed of the orbiting planets. And so it's sort of, and we've got the game speed in through here the game speed, we've got the orbiting planets in through here as well. You can turn this off if you don't like it. And to be honest, at this stage, it just adds another layer of complexity for me that I don't particularly personally like, but I do want to show what it's got. So I will leave that one on for what we're doing. But for me personally, I would probably turn that off. It does sort of say planets will orbit their stars, and phase lanes can change over time. The phase lanes are how you connect and move from gravity well to gravity well. So it's sort of talking about planets, but in the game you think in terms of just gravity wells. So an orbiting planet can be an asteroid, like a group of asteroids that happen to be sort of going in the opposite direction or something like that. But I'll show you that. So I'll keep that one on there because that's a big feature of the game. So for those of you who do like shifting gameplay, you're going to enjoy those orbiting planets. For me, I like static gameplay. So I don't like shifting lanes and stuff like that. So I would probably, for my own enjoyment, play with that turned off. But it's a big improvement in terms of it's a big feature for people who enjoyed Sins. Because I remember back in the old day, you were always looking for your choke points and how you can just sort of tweak things. The orbiting planets changes those choke points just a little bit. Not dramatically, just a little bit, but it's interesting the way it does actually work. I'll show you that when we get into the game. So you've got reveal map on lost. So upon losing the game, the entire map will be revealed to you. If you're on a fixed team, with the entire team must have lost. Yeah. So essentially, that's I think this is here more for multiplayer because you can, if you lose, and let's just say you're playing with a 10-player game with say 5 people in the actual multiplayer game. And you get wiped out, you can actually come back into the game and keep on playing as one of the AIs. So you can take over an AI. So there's a lot of flexibility with the multiplayer as well. Home planet victory. This one here, players lose the game upon losing their home planet. I like this idea, so it just keeps the games even shorter. And then you've got colonization victory there as well. So the game is won by a player or a team colonizing most of the galaxy. So for a small game, I'm not going to turn that one on. But we've got orbiting planet speed again. This for me would probably, if I leave this on, I'd be wanting to really slow this down personally. That's just my own personal sort of taste with it. Research rates, I'll just keep, these are just again all for balancing at this point in time. But you can see there's going to be, over time, as people make suggestions, they're going to add more and more things into his, which is really cool. Map details, just going through the summary as to what we're actually then playing. So the players, going back to the actual players themselves. So you can play teams, and I think it's worth playing as teams when you're actually trying to learn the game. So if we go with 2 teams, so players will be assigned into teams, and so we can have like team 1 and team 2. This way we can see what's going on with the other team member, and just just do a bit of a balance and think, okay, are we at the same level? I always like doing that with these sorts of games, just to gauge whether whether we're sort of developing the way that we want to be developing. Now we've got different things. For example, you can just go random. I will go through what we actually have with this as well. So at the moment we either have Tech or Vasari. So the Advent is not in the game yet. That will be the third faction, and so it goes through. You can see there it's a tooltip. I'll start with Tech. Tech, the Trader Emergency Coalition, was originally created to deal with the Vasari threat. By utilising their economic power, the Tech have managed to survive by being industrious and adaptive. And so the Tech are your typical human. And so that's sort of basically what we have. The Advent, which is coming, are a group of sort of pseudo-humans, more psionic type humans that end up... they got crushed by the Tech like 1,000 years in the past. That's sort of like their backstory, and now they're coming back with all their psionic powers to get revenge. So is Vasari planned for Steam release? Vasari is here right now. So Vasari I can play if I wanted to. Now I'm not going to play them at the moment. I'm just going to play Tech, because Tech is the most easy one to actually understand. Whereas the Vasari, I can show you the mechanics of it, I guess, but I haven't looked at them at all. But what we can do is, I was thinking of playing 2 Techs against 2 Vasari. So there's 4 different factions at this point in time. So what we end up having is, if we go across to, if we keep Tech on here, one thing we also then have is 2 different ways of playing the actual game. So loyalists are more of a defensive way of playing, which is sort of like the way that so you guys want to actually play Vasari? I can give it a go. You guys are in charge, so we'll try Vasari. Okay, so Vasari, we've got 2 different, and I haven't looked at this, so I'm like the Vasari start differently, because they have to settle, like they're like the invaders into the solar system that they're coming in. So we've got 2 different groups. We've got Exodus or Alliance are the 2 different types of ways of playing the Vasari, and you can see there's a whole lot of stuff. Like there's unique research, for example, at the bottom there, unique units. We've got the let's just go back to Exodus. So Exodus, feeling that they're lingered too long in this region of space, the Vasari Exodus abandons cooperation and strikes out to take the resources they need to escape. They also gain the ability to forego planets and consume them for resources. So unique planet items. So the Debris Reclamation Center. The Debris Reclamation Facility enables the automatic harvesting of resources from destroyed ships at this planet and all planets up to 1 jump away. Labour camps, so unsuitable oppression is used to force able-bodied humans into assisting mining and construction, so essentially taking over the humans. A core stripper, so allows you to consume a planet once you abandon it, stripping it of all natural resources to generate a huge amount of resources. The planet is permanently ruined. So you're getting a feel like these are much more aggressive than the human ones. The human ones are into trade and things like this. So unique units, we've got the Vasatara Titan, a highly adaptive warship capable of quick movements and inflicting area of effect damage to enemies. Unique research, the labour camp, the mass enslaved labour. Yeah, anyway, we'll check those out when we get into there. And strip to the core, you can sort of see down through that side there. Let's go and choose the other Vasari as our team member. They can be Alliance. So unlike, I'll just read this one very quickly, unlike the Exodus Brethren, the Vasari Alliance feels their best chance for survival is to cooperate with other races and bring them along for the flight? It says on their flight. Okay, while their preference is to work with others, they are fully capable of managing any aggressor. So unique planetary items, intercultural exchange. So these are a friendly one. So I always think of these guys as sort of like not so much insectoids, but more reptilian sort of in their nature. There's in the Vasari themselves. A grand and imposing structure built, so this is the embassy, houses legions of Vasari diplomatic experts to facilitate mutual cooperation between species. So I guess it's like V, you know, they show V in one sense. Xeno settlement, so radical, free-thinking Vasari civilians tired of living aboard starships descend to form communities on planets thought to resemble the ancient Vasari homeworld. So the Culturus Titan is its unique unit. And so this one here is a powerful support ship which can use advanced nanotechnology to inflict damage on enemies or heal friendly ships. So you get the feel that they're really they play very, very differently, all of these different guys. Hi, Sledgehammer, how are you going? If we go back into Team 2, we'll make these tech. So we've got tech and we've got tech rebels. So, and there will be Advent coming, as I say. I'm not sure when that's coming, but it certainly will be before the release. They definitely want to have the Advent, this like the Psionic players in it as well. All right, so with the tech, the Trader Emergency Coalition was originally created to deal with the Vasari threat. So essentially, you can see they're trader. So trading is important to the tech. And these are humans. And then you've just got loyalists, weary from the long decades of war. The tech loyalists seek isolation from the other factions. By focusing on defensive measures and technologies, the loyalists are able to deploy cheaper star bases, construct 2 star bases around their planets, more heavily armour for defensive structures. Their unique planetary items are the garrison command, so they can actually sort of protect their planets fairly well. This for me, this is my ideal faction. That's the one I was going to play. So anyway, you've already pushed me off. I'm off kilter now. But these are if you do play, if you're a turtle player like I am, then these are your turtling players. Then you've got the tech rebels. So immersed in the military philosophy of the tech, the rebels choose to use the arsenals that they've created to crush their enemies. Hateful of all Xenos species from the cruelty of decades of war, the tech rebels show little mercy. The rebel faction gains economic benefit from attacking other empires and can ally with neutral and pirate factions for aid. So it's got the supreme spender for human doctrine. And so these are your human supremacists, I guess. Anyway, let's just go and start the game. So we've done all the things we needed to do. We're not going to turn any of the other bits and pieces off. In we go. Only half an hour. That's not too bad. Oh, now we're actually in the game already. So here we come. We've actually now, the Vasari are a, and if I've just pressed backspace, if you see me flick like this, it means that I'm just, my muscle memory for pausing. So I'm going to be doing a lot of pausing as we have a look at everything. So we're just going to go through, rather than just keep on playing. And I will be doing gameplay stuff as well, by the way. So I will be doing a lot of this on my Twitch channel as well. So if you wanted to follow me on Twitch, it's just twitch.tv/DasTactic. I will be covering this an awful lot. You know, and that will probably be a lot more sort of gameplay type things. But the graphics in this are beautiful. So let's just go through and have a bit of a look and see what's going on here. So the situation we have is we've just come in. We don't start with a planet as a Vasari. So the Vasari essentially have just come into a planet called Thrasmedi. So this is Thrasmedi back in through here. A ferrous planet, an iron planet. We can actually have a look at the actual planet itself. What do we know about it? Not much at all. So if I press Alt, I can then get other details. There we go. We can sort of see the different bits and pieces about the actual planet itself. Now, if you don't want to keep on pressing Alt to get this sort of level of detail, and I'm going to be in the way for some of these things. Won't matter too much anyway. Supported planet items. There's lots of different things that we can put on the actual planet itself. 5 asteroids around the planet, and you can see there that this is a ferrous planet, which means that these will all be metal. So we've got 4 metal. Got any crystal? Yeah, no, 5 metal. So we've got 5 metal asteroids around this particular planet. This is important, just to sort of understand what's going on. So Vasari are all you need. There we go, says Radagarth. So yeah, just play the Vasari and you'll learn to crush the other 2. It should be a much more aggressive game, which is actually not bad. So anyway, that's the Alt key back and through there. You'll see there that so a ferrous planet, maximum potential, maximum military orbit slots 60, maximum civilian orbit slots 12, maximum planet item slots 4. So that there's there's more you can do now than what you could do if you had Rebellion. I'll talk about Rebellion rather than the original, because this is the follow-on sort of from Rebellion. It's sort of like a rebuild of Rebellion with a bit more. And so there's things, for example, like the planet item slots were not really a big feature of the previous game, whereas planet slots now really are quite important. So we've just come into Thrasmedi, and you can see that there's a whole lot of other little sorts of ships coming around. There's these Kobold-like frigates coming in to protect the planet, and these are just neutrals around the actual planet itself. And so if we have a bit of a look, you'll see that there's not a hell of a lot of them back in through this other side. But the game is played all in one go. Like, it does end up sort of going into like a cloth map type situation, and then sort of continues on. This is everything we know about the actual about the solar system at this point in time. So you're not playing in a galactic situation. You're playing in a single solar system with heaps of planets and other asteroids. So we've got the Damocles asteroid, for example. We can see there's a little icon above that one. And so what this one is showing us is that there's actually a faction at this particular asteroid, and there's another one here on this planet, on this volcanic planet, which is this is Feyre, and I don't know if it'll tell us in there. This is the metal market. So the metal market is actually done through here. These are two independents that we're aware of. The tech won't be aware of them just yet, and then we've got, so with these in through here, so Damocles and Feyre. Damocles is a crystal market, so these are where we can actually go and buy crystal or metal, essentially. And so if we have a look at what these are, there's another big change from the previous game, is we've actually now got minor factions. And so we can see already there's actually 3 minor factions in the game. There's a Jiskin Expeditionary Force, which we can see these are the guys with the crystal market, and so we have the Pranast United, which is and these are the metal market. There's a third one that we don't know about yet. But what we need to do to be able to see what this third one actually is, we either need to find it by using scout ships, or we need to use our influence to actually, and I don't know if playing as a Vasari, whether we get that or not. And so this one here is the influence is then going to sort of open these up. Now, all sorts of things are going to happen with having the with these guys. These actually will then have they'll have auctions for their things, which was not, I don't think that was part of the original game at all. So there's a lot more. These play a much bigger role now in the game, and you can still sort of take them over and do whatever you want to do. But they're probably more valuable just to be doing their own mining, and then you just, if you need it, you then auction for it. Now, we don't use credits, so this is, if you're playing as the tech, credits are important to you. For playing as us, it's not. So the Vasari have no intrinsic need for credits. However, while mired in protracted war, it can be prudent to adapt to native economies. Credits may be acquired via allies, like minor factions, markets, and research. So we can still accrue them, but we don't need them. For us, we use metal and crystal to actually do all of our building. So money is really, like, if we're trying to sort of work within the existing systems in the solar system, then we can use credits to for that, but we don't use it for building or anything along these lines. Other things to look at. So that's the minor factions. The diplomacy is very simple. Everything has been designed so that you can make very quick decisions in the actual game itself. And so, but in this case, we don't really get to play with diplomacy because we've played with teams. I sort of want to show teams, because the teams, we can then at least see how we're comparing with the others. Actually, I should have shown how to customize what we had, because we can change the whole. I might go back and do that actually. I'm going to go back and restart. So I'm just going to go and quit the game. Actually, I might even show you the cutscene. Actually, no, I won't. It's not as good as Gal Siv's cutscene, so I won't do it. I'll just go and close that one off. So Shuriken, we're just going to go to create lobby. Going to go into 2 teams: Vasari Exodus, Vasari Alliance, Tech Loyalists, Tech Rebels. Okay, then we go into the if we go and customize what we have in through here. I thought I'd just show you this, just so you can sort of see what does go on here. You've got your the actual look of who you want to be. It doesn't matter that much for the Vasari. They're all going to look pretty cool. I'll just go this one here. That'll be okay. But this is actually the ship. The vision we've got a primary and secondary color. And so if I go to orange and I've got sort of like the blue selected, that was the last one that I had chosen, our ships will then look like this. So we can see very clearly what faction we're from. I can go to full color, or I can go to like minimal color. And I can't actually sort of rotate these around, but I can look at different sorts of ship designs to sort of see how it does actually sort of then work. So full color, minimal color with the actual look of it. So I'll probably end up just going full color with these, I think. So it just gives you a bit of a feel for what the overall look is going to look like. So minimal color looks pretty cool there. But you can change if you change the colors, then the color of the ships will then sort of chop and change as well to whatever you actually want. But I'll keep that one orange. Maybe we'll go black. You can see they're just a little highlights. When I sort of flick them, there's little things will then sort of come back on depending on what I choose. I might just go orange and black, so almost like a wasp sort of color. But that's the overall sort of essentially what's going to happen with this one. So this is where you then go and change things. I'll just go and accept that and start the game again. So we're going through hyperspace. We're now arriving at that location, and so this is actually the and I'll just pause again. So the game is paused. So we've come through. This is like this is the Javasul evacuator back and through here, which is a ship we can use. So it wants to colonize. We're now coming to a place called Thorinea, which we can have a bit of a look. And so when we've come in, we've actually come in with a few different ships. So we've got the this is the evacuator back and through here, like the big colony ship. It does have weaponry on it. We've also then got 3 of these little Ravastra skirmishers, and which have got so if I go and click on those, for example, it's going to pick up all of those in the actual gravity well. So this is what's happening in the gravity well itself. Back and through here, we've actually got a Jakara navigator. These are for exploration, and you can see there that one's already going off. If I go and click on that one, it's already going off to explore. And actually, I might just change where I'm sitting just with my webcam. I might just move it up into there. It's probably going to be a safer spot. Or is it going to be better over here? Maybe better over here. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the best place on the screen, just so I'm not covering up the interface. Okay. Does not have multi-system maps anymore. Actually, I haven't tried the other maps. I know that in the previous one it felt like it was, but I don't know. I haven't looked at the big maps to see if there's multi-system in it. I'm not sure. To be honest, it's I think so much that goes on now in just the solar system. So we've got this one here and this one here. These are both navigators, so they're both going off just to do navigation. They're going to avoid the combat that's coming into this particular system. This is another ferrous planet with, again, heaps and heaps of metal. So this is what we need playing as the Vasari. All right, so we've got those. These will then just go off. I can tell them not to explore. Like I can actually automatically search out and discover new planets. Right click to disable it. So I can actually right click that one and turn that one off if I want that. But really we do want them going through and sort of exploring the system. So while we've got it paused, let's have another look. So we've sort of seen another ferrous planet. We come back in. Now, one thing you can see is these are essentially the phase lanes that you actually have. So you use your phase power to move to these different systems. Now, these are unexplored, so we don't actually know what these are, but we know that there's phase lanes connected to them. And so these are gravity wells. They're not so much. I almost wish it didn't show a planet, because these are most likely going to be asteroids. It's sort of almost just like have a question mark on it or something like that. But it's sort of. But anyway, that's what these actually are. So this is where exploration ships are going off to this one and this one. That's actually where they're heading off to sort of have a bit of a look and see what's going on. This line you see through here, see how it's got like a gentle curve to it? This is the speed and direction of the orbiting of the planets themselves. And so this is a big feature of Sins of the Solar Empire 2. If I go and I'll show you how this one then works. If I go and click on future orbits, this is now showing, just while we're looking at this one, the future orbit of what's going on. Now we don't get to see all of it, but I can actually swing this one back and forward. So what's actually going on there? Let me scroll back a bit. And there we go. We've got these other two different factions. We've got our other friend in through here as well. But if I go and start to push these ones, this is like showing the what's happening over time. And so as we rotate around, these guys look to be fairly sort of static. If I just go and click on something, if I go and click on on the central area and then go and do it. We're still sort of seeing ours. See how ours is actually very slow? We're a fair way back in the actual in the systems. These are actually rotating. It looks like in the opposite direction. Yeah, these rotate in that direction, and this one, yeah, these rotate in the opposite direction. Now, the reason that this is actually pretty cool is any connections with these like these cabals or these independents are going to chop and change as they get close to your systems or to the systems that you control. All of these are rotating in sort of like in one direction. These are going to also be rotating essentially what's called prograde. And so these are prograde rotation, where most of the bodies will actually rotate this way. And so there'll be limited, there won't be a lot. You can actually have other bodies that orbit planets. You can have like moons around planets that just do a very tight orbit. And these all chop and change the overall strategic map with your choke points and things. So these will chop and change as it happens. So this is over the course of essentially an hour. So that's that's what actually is happening in through there. But you can see that these aren't really changing that much. But this whole orbit, this whole system of having the orbits around your main sun is really quite interesting. So anyway, that's the future orbits, which is very new. Hi ZXM, how are you going? Where are we? So Bruno Bigris is saying IGN gave a bad score for this game. IGN is shit, but I hope they'll improve the game. I love this. I love games like this. I can't see, like it looks great. It like from everything I can see, it plays. It's so easy to play, even though there's a lot going on. So for me, it's pretty cool. Thronir is saying as long as they keep the same core gameplay as Sins 1, it can't be bad. There's less micromanagement in this than Sins 1. I can tell you that, because that was one thing I used to not really enjoy all that much. But you can sort of see as we sort of start to get down into this particular system, we don't have to. We can just watch the actual combat as it comes in, and so these guys and the big ship are going to have to. Essentially going to have to wipe out these independents. Let's just go and unpause the game and just watch what happens. Actually, what I'll do is I'm just going to slow it right down. You can go down to 25 times speed. And so this is the actual overall look. This is what it looks like, the actual combat of it. It looks beautiful. Like there's the big ship coming back through. And you just use your WASD keys and you can sort of see what's going on. And so I spent, like of the 3/4 of an hour that I spent watching it, I spent a lot of time just doing this because it just looks so damn good. So you can see all the actual detail when you click on these as well. It does a good job of just keeping everything very much in the middle here. So it's being smashed. Now there was a question about whether you can actually target the individual guns, and I don't know. These are all still firing, but I noticed that they stopped firing. Now, if we just pause it there for a second, this one here has now actually, so if we go with this one clicked on, there's two bars. There's a white bar above. In fact, there's another bar above that as well if they've got shields. But in this case, the armor points, in fact, if I just keep it hovered over, it doesn't keep it there if I know. There was a way to keep it there. But the armor points, you can see there, all the armor has now gone, and we're now going through the hull points. The weapons, it's got 4 point defense auto cannons essentially is what's actually happening with these particular ships. And so in this case, it's now been essentially the armor has been wiped out. But I don't know if the individual components then come off. It's if I press Alt, does it give us any clues there? It just goes through the armor points, the armor strength, the repair, like the armor repairs, the hull points, yeah, maximum speed, etc., etc. Let's just watch and see what actually happens as it gets destroyed. You can sort of see when you press the space bar just how much you've got. This is our shielding and then armor. Now when I saw those explosions, see how, oh no, they're still all firing. They're still all firing. The big Vasari ship is going into the planet. It's nearly, the hull points are nearly gone. But the ship's, it's still firing on everything. So I don't know if it's got individual. It may be the big, the bigger ships that end up being able to sort of chop and change that a little bit. There we go. And that's the end of that one. Right, so, and then these are just going to go off and keep on doing their thing. This one's going in to take over the planet.
Speak.
There we go.
Planet development finished.
Right, so let's just pause it there. And just recap what's actually happened in this instance. So this big evacuator, the JSOL evacuator, has now just come through and actually essentially taken over this particular planet. Hi, Battle Mode, how are you going? Saying, where did we get up to? Hi, Connie, how are you going? Sorry, I missed a lot of comments now. Yeah, just do it. If you mention my like an @DasTactic, it highlights in red. I can then sort of see specific questions. Now, Battle Mode can also answer a lot of the questions of this game, because Battle Mode's even closer, a lot closer to it than I am. He's been doing a lot of the press release type stuff and the video content and things like this. So yeah, so ask away. Sorry, Nightbot's getting a little bit aggressive there with Battle Mode's name. It's always Battle Mode that causes these issues. Where does the sound come from in space? It's funny, you know. It's not just sound; it's also shock waves. I've noticed that in the game. It looks great, but it's not accurate in the sense of a Kerbal Space Program type thing. But it does. So yeah, we do have sound. We do actually have atmospheric effects in around the gravity wells. Anyway, these ships are going off. So we've got now this one here is this is just a phase missile. Where's the one coming from? Oh, it's coming from here. Yeah, we've got a bomber in there as well. So we've got a few different sorts of ships. We've got 3 bombers backing through this side. What else? We didn't look at this one as well. This is an assembler. And so what this one does is, if I just go and double click it, this one's just on the outside waiting for an instruction of what to do. But in the meantime, we have to destroy all of these things. So the ships will just automatically do their stuff. So we've actually got 3 of the skirmishers. And again, if I just press the space bar, I can then just see if there's any damage. So you can see the shielding of this one is coming down. For the bombers, that one there doesn't have any shields. This one here does have shields, and it's taken a bit of damage. And so there's a little bit sort of going on. Now I can micromanage this, or I can just leave them to do their own thing. Let's just leave them to do their own thing. We'll just speed up the gameplay again. If I just press the equals, I can then sort of go up to normal speed. So we're going to normal speed, which is fine. So these little bombers are sort of coming back in around, firing on the different ships with their missiles. So when I've got one selected, click on it, it will then just track it, which is quite nice. So you can look at the battle through the eyes of a single ship, and it will sort of, like, I can zoom right in on it. And where is it? You can see there the armor is now rebuilding. And we're seeing other things now being fleshed out in the system. Let's just finish these off and then we'll go and have a bit of a look to see what's going on. It's not strictly a plane either. It's got a slight. You can see there's a bit of Z axis action going on as well. That looks like we've still got one more coming in. Just another light frigate. So I won't rush this bit of it. We'll just watch. So this is a different sort of unit. So, but I was saying, is this the first planet you're taking as a Vasari on game start? Yes, it is. Yeah. Actually, we had a question before battle mode. You probably know this one. You may know this one. The question was as you do damage to ships, do different systems go offline? I haven't noticed it on the small ships, but on the bigger ships, maybe it does it on the big ships. All right. So in this instance, we're just going to now just pause and we'll just go through the next phase. So Jarita is saying, when is Sins 2 releasing? All we know is Q3 of 2024. So what's it, about 3 or 4 months away, I guess. So there's still a bit of time. A lot of development still has to be done as well for this one here. So yeah. So the Vampire was saying it would be a very boring game with no sound at all. Yes, I agree. It's good, but it's it's just like. I look at it and I love that you've got the personalized colors, so you can very quickly sort of see what's going on. The actual models look incredibly good. Like, it's really just so detailed, this game. It just looks beautiful. Here comes the bombers. So these tiny little bombers are also. It's just a stunning game in the overall look of it. And so, yeah, these are just the little bombers probably coming back into the actual excavator itself. But it's just visually, it's mind-blowingly good. That's why I've been playing it on like quarter speed for much of my time playing it, just fully enjoying it. All right, now that we've got a planet, we now actually have a planet back and through here, so we can actually go through the interface that the planets bring. So again, if you're used to playing the older versions of Sins, you'll then sort of find that there's more you can do, but it's easier ways to do it. Now, one thing you'll notice is that it immediately came back up the top when we got the planet to Therenia. You can put any of these areas that you get, you can put them wherever you like. So you can just drag them up. So let's just say that I got rid of this one. And you can see if I hover over. If I hover over this one, you can I think you can delete. You can just, is it control right click? Right click? No, I can't remember what it is. There's a way to actually ditch them out of there. Oh, there we go. So I just dragged it out of this button bar on the side. This is your best friend when you're playing multiplayer or when you're not using the active pause, because rather than going back and micromanaging. Now the other games had something similar to this one, but it just makes life very much easier to sort of see what's going on. You see, this is one of these rogue gravity wells coming back the other way. We'll see that if we now do the future orbits again. See how this is changing? Over the course of that hour, like now we can see more of them. And so over the course of like an hour of gameplay, these going retrograde. We've got other ones that we've got connections to. The ones on the inner should actually go faster than the ones on the outer. See how it's just, that one's accelerating a little bit further away than where we are. These are coming back the other way. So we end up with, when you've got these sorts of planets or these sorts of gravity wells, the idea is that you can use them as surprise attacks and sort of plan something out where, you know, like this one's going to be close to this particular, to Furnius, for example, which is a volcanic planet. And so the volcanic planet may be something that we want to get hold of, and we might not have time to sort of get onto this particular planet, but or this particular gravity well, which is probably just an asteroid. But if that asteroid, if we did grab that one, see how when we go further on, bang, it's just now got a connection to this one. So it's changing the connections as it goes around. And similarly, we'll find out with a few different, there's not a heap of them, but there's a few of them around the place. In the meantime, our scout ships are just going off and doing their thing. We don't have to even think about them. So there's a lot of automation with the actual game itself, but we're now sort of starting to see a lot more stuff going on. Usually the outer areas will also be an area that you can fairly safely control. So very much like the previous games where you actually had like your actual bodies themselves. If you started off on the outside, you're going to end up with like a safe zone. I still remember back when I used to play the original Sins, is there quite often just be like some areas where you have a choke point going through your main planet that goes into like a safe area. Now we don't have scout ships going out into that particular area, but that's but we can even just send our actual current fleet out that way if we wanted to. Battleman's saying, yeah, nice thing about this is that it's real time with pause. I tend to pause the game a lot as I play. You don't need to be as fast paced. Yes, exactly. I love it. I absolutely love it. It was the when I opened it up, because I didn't know if it had active pause, it was the very, very first thing I did was went straight to the keyboard shortcuts to see if there was a pause function in there, and it was there, and I'm happy. Very happy. So the Vampiriba is saying, just wondering if Sins 2 will have what Sins 1 had with their trilogy, the Titans and stuff. Yeah, so the Advent are coming. I'm not sure when that's coming. Titans are already in the game. Let's have a look at those. I think we just get them through research. This is the research tree. Research tree is more fleshed out than what we've seen before. Is each where the Titans? I'm not sure where the Titans actually are. Yeah, I'm not sure where they actually end up coming in. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't looked for them, to be honest, at all. Yeah, there's just heaps of stuff. Anyway, we'll sort of jumping ahead of ourselves a little bit, but yes, the Titans are in the game, and so. The Vampiriba is saying, very cool, thanks. I checked this game a few months ago and I felt it was missing so much. I stayed out of it for that reason. Well, you still got 3 or 4 more months of development. Hang on. So Battleman's saying you can search for the terms in the tech tree, top left of the screen. So I'm assuming that they'll be in here. There we go. Titan. Sure where it's coming. Oh, there we go. The Vistara Titan is showing up in the improves. So it improves these do improve the. I don't know if we unlock them in here though. Beam splitting, or are they already unlocked? Yeah, maybe they're already unlocked. I haven't played this enough, and I don't remember enough from the previous game. Isn't the interface too small? It's I'm finding it fine. I'm playing on a 1080p. Remember the overall design of this is for you to be able to play very quickly, and so all the user interface decisions are how can I play as fast as possible to get a result is sort of pretty much where they do come from. So that's the overriding goal of all of the interface. Now we got rid of our planet. Let's just quickly go back and put that planet back in. To put the planet back in the side here, what we're going to do is we're just going to go and grab the planet and we're just going to drag it up there and just place it in that little plus. Bang, the planet's there. So anything we wanted to add in there, we can. We also then have, by default, add a fleet or a planet. So let's go and add a fleet in. If we go back in and grab the ships that were in here, the combat ships that we actually had. So when we do even though I've got like a ship over through here, which is just a, what's that one there? That's the assembler. If I go and sort of grab everything, it'll only pick up my my actual combat ships back in through here. And so it's now selected the combat ships. If I hover over this one, it then tells me add a new empty fleet by left clicking, add a new occupied fleet by right clicking this button with the ship selected, which is what we've got. So we'll just go and add them in. This is now Alpha Fleet. And so we now have Alpha Fleet up and through here. If I go and click on that, that's what we actually have. If I go to Control 1, I've now got Alpha Fleet in Control Group number 1. Now, at the moment, I've got no way of actually building ships, so we need to do that as well. But in the meantime, let's go and these guys have taken a bit of a beating. How are these guys all going? If I just press, yeah, we've got shielding coming back up there, and we've got shielding coming back up in through here. So they'll be okay. I'm just thinking of sending that first fleet off up to here. Now, with this first, with this actual evacuator that we actually have, I can do upgrades on this one now. So we've got a gravity warhead. So there's a 60-second cooldown. It costs antimatter. Antimatter is something that slowly accrues in the actual ships themselves, and it's going to slows the sublight movement of targeted enemy ships. We don't need that. Subspace rupture. So distort space-time with a radius of a targeted enemy, dealing damage over time to enemies within its radius. Let's go and upgrade to that. I think we've got Colonize 1 was the first one that we actually ended up having. If we just go and upgrade that, this is now something that the ship can do. Now we can override these. So you can see we've got right-click to disable the autocast. At this point in time, the AI will look after which ones it wants to then make use of. So if we don't want it to colonize, we just right-click, and that should now turn it off, and then right-click to enable. So we can either disable or enable that that particular ability. All right, so let's go back out to here, because this one should be a safe one for us to go and take over. So we'll just go and grab the first group. Actually, where are we? We've already got them selected. And I just tell them to go into this particular system. So I'm just going to go and tell them to right-click, and they'll just make their way across there. So even though we don't know what's there, we should be safe enough. We'll have to watch what does go on. All right. God, there's so much to talk about with this. The planets themselves now are much, much more involved. So where are we up to? Sorry. So Jarita is saying, will it cross-play between Epic and Steam? So yes. And so Chedham is saying that Jarita is saying cross-play is confirmed by dev. It was my first question in Discord because I got the Epic version. Yeah, from my understanding, as soon as the Steam version actually does hit, the Epic version will be basically the same version. That's my understanding, and they'll be fully compatible. So if you've got the Epic version, then you will end up with the same stuff, I think. So Blair is saying I have to return my kids shortly, but I'll watch the whole thing later on tonight. That's cool. But yeah, just keep on asking questions, guys, if you want to see different things, and if just use the @DasTactic if you want to grab my attention. If I do miss your comments. And as I say, I'll be playing this a bit over the coming weeks on my Twitch channel as well. So just, you know, we can sort of, I'll probably be less interrupted. I want to show everything. I want to show as much as I possibly can, because the game is, as I say, pretty cool the way it does work. So in this system, this is just to go through some really basic things in through here. So we've got the planet in through here, so Thoronea back in through this other side. We can see there's a few different things. This is a planet component. The Exodus Debris Reclamation Center is actually on the planet itself. And so this is salvaging metal and crystal for us. And so this is the first thing. When we colonize, we actually have that one already there. If we go across, we can then go to it, the different planet slots. And you can see there that we've got, if I go and click on these, there's certain things that require technology to be unlocked. So a labor camp, for example, for humans would require an unlock. The core stripper, and this one would be if we're going to consume the planet, which we don't want to be doing. We then actually have crystal seeking nanites. So we have like ways to improve the mining of the actual nanites. There should be a metal one as well, I guess, as well. This is the metal seeking nanites. So there we go. We've got the matter hypercompiler. So this one here is surface mining rate. So this is all to do with mining for the economy. In defense, we've got defensive uplink. So unlock defensive uplink, which gives us extra military orbit slots, so plus 12. So we can put more things into orbit. We don't need any of these things right away. The Dark Fleet Tower is another thing we can build on through here as well, which, what does that one do? Summons an isolated portion of a Dark Fleet from deep space to a planet within range. So that's probably something we'd be wanting to go and get. So the Dark Fleet Tower prototype, this is something that we'd need to unlock in our research. In terms of the support aspects of it as well, we've then got the Reclamation Centre. We've already got that one though. So we must already have that one from when we actually settle it. This is the, is it different? Enables the automatic harvesting of resources. Metal salvage 18%. This one's doing 24. Exodus Debris Reclamation Centre. This is just a debris reclamation centre. So the Exodus, I think, this is our first. Our first one is what we get, but we can then go and research these. We also have the Jitra Adjunct Lab. So this is something that's going to cost us a little bit of metal, and you can see we're not using money for much for our own stuff. Cannot be combined with the Jitra Stasis Lab, the Severa Genetics Lab, the Weapons Lab, or the Gravity Lab. Maximum count of 1, research rate of plus 12%. So this is a central Litra orbital labs are a primary target of the less advanced enemies. These surface extensions of the primary facilities help prevent disruptions to critical research. So this is a big bit. A lot of changes have now been done to the planets, like where you've got like so much more you can do on the planets themselves. This is the Vitra Weapons Lab. Typically, the way I would be approaching this would be to go and try to get something. So this is the Litra Adjunct Lab. What else are we having through here? The Administrative Uplink. I would typically be going this way to try to get more of the economy sort of ticking over. If you go and have a look at the actual Empire research. So this is the so we've got Empire research in through here. These should give us better economy with different sorts of things like volcanic occupation. We will need this one as an example because we know that there's a volcanic world nearby. We've got emissary outreach back in through here as well. This is, and then we've got the nanotechs, orbital extraction. So these are all really, really important for us. And I'm thinking that first one that we saw there was going to be the critical one for us. So if we just go back out again, and maybe we go and set up one of these Litra Adjunct Labs. So research rate of plus 12%. Let's just go and throw that one in there as well. So we'll just get that one building. So that one's being constructed. Back in through here on the other side, we've got survey. So survey time 60 seconds. These will then give us exotics. I'm not going to start doing them just yet, but we will actually hopefully get some exotics. Now the exotics, our basic resources are credits, which we don't use. We don't use much of. That's why we can't actually develop the commerce on the actual world itself. If we're playing as a tech, we would be able to do that. But we have metal production back through here as well. So we've got like metal production and crystal production. Now we do actually have an income because of Thoria. We can see there where the actual production is coming from. And it sort of it all gets stored globally, and we then make use of this to then go and build what we have to build. So we have to manage this fairly effectively. This first planet we can see has got heaps of these little metal asteroids. And so we need to start to build on these as well. So it's a balance now between military and commerce. And so I'm just going to try to get the mining, get the research underway. We can actually also then go and develop the planet up for better mining. So this one will then go and improve the, so there's only 20 seconds development time, improve the resource extraction rate of the planet. So we might as well go and grab that one. It's going to cost me 120 more metal to do that one. So we'll just go and throw that one in there. So we can now see that one's now hit the queue. This is logistics, and this is important because what this one does is the civilian orbital slots go from 5 to 8. We don't need it just yet. Structure builders go from 2 to 3. These are these little guys back in through here. And the planetary item slots go from 2 to 3. And so we go from 2, we get the third one there as we start to build this one up. We have defenses, we can start to sort of add those in. There's Empire research. We do want to increase this as well. So 25 seconds to grab this one. So I'm going to go and improve that one immediately as well. So that one's going to come after the other one. Warfare research we're going to need as well. I think I'll throw one of those, and you can see it's actually now taking the crystal and the metal away from what we actually had. So we've got those in there. If I wanted to see other detail of what we can do on the planet, I can then go and open the advanced planet actions and see what's going on. So we've actually got like established home planet, so disabled due to victory condition. So this is essentially our home planet. Now the reason we can't get rid of that is because if we lose our home planet, we lose the game. Then we actually have rotate planet orbital structures, so it allows you to reposition all of your structures together while moving the structures will not be operational. So we can, if we wanted to reposition them, depending on what's happened with the orbits around the system, we can do a lot there. Battle Mode saying the planetary item slots you're looking at are there to add further functionality to colonies to support the existing orbital slots that you have. Lots of cool stuff you can do in there. Might want to remove the search term there. Actually, where's the search term? Was that still in there, was it? Oh, you are right. Ah, there we go. Thanks for that one. So we've got that one there. I can press escape as well just to bring it back to the screen. So there's a lot that you can do, and once you get used to the game, you'll just automatically go click, 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 and be done. So there's not a lot to do. In terms of their planets themselves as well, like let's just say that I'm way over here, and I happen to be looking at Furnius and want to then very quickly go and do something back in my home planet. I can then just go back and click on Thorania, even though I'm sort of got this one under with the map, and I'm still back into everything to do with the actual planet itself. So it's very, very easy to manage as long as you're using this this button bar on the left-hand side. I forget what they call it, like a navigation type bar. So anyway, the other thing we then have is we've got like a few different areas up the top here. So we've got the, sorry, did I go through all of these? Yeah, that one there is to rotate the orbital structures, and then this one here is to scuttle the planet. Now, we will be doing this when we go, like if we get close to the enemy territory, we'll be wanting to scuttle planets and then basically strip mine them. So so that will be something that we will do, but not with our home planet, of course. So that's actually where we are with that one. With these other ones, we've got things, for example, like managed strike craft, so there's no carriers at the moment. Build ships, which we can't do that one just yet. We need factories. But this one here we can do. This is build orbital structures. And you can see there that we've got civilian orbital slots of 5, and we have military orbital slots of 10. I might just go back. So you get the idea. I can do all my management down here without actually, I can have the game wherever I want it to be. And so it's easy-ish. I won't say it's easy, but it's easy-ish to manage the game without going in and actually doing everything in the actual system. And from my recollections of when I did play Sins back in the day, there was I do remember I was flicking back and forwards between different systems. I was telling them what asteroids to build on, things like this, where to position stuff. I just remember it being frustrating, and that's no longer the case. I'll show you what I mean, because this is actually now for me fairly big. If I go into the to the build orbital structures, I've then got different things I can then go and build off the bat. So back in through here, I've got 5 civilian slots and 10 military slots. The sorts of things I can build. I do need to get a metal extractor. I need to research it. So we'll get that one fairly soon. We've got, you can see it's got like 5 little slots in through there. It's telling me there's 5 asteroids that I can then go and set up mining operations for. So I can't do them yet, but we will soon. We've got the crystal extractor. There's no crystal asteroids in this system, in this gravity well, so that's not going to help us. We then actually have the nano assembly factory, and so you can see there what it can actually then go and build. And so this can build the Jakara navigators, the Ravastra skirmishers, and the Jarung migrators. And so these are sort of like our smallest ships, to build one of these costs 2 civilian slots. We've got 5, that's going to take up 2 of them, we'll have 3 left over. Other things we need to get, the Xeno Relations Centre, the Exotic Refinery, the Lyristria Research Lab. This is like a research lab in orbit, so we'll probably end up getting those here as well. So we want to develop this up fairly big. Phase gates back in through here as well. the fleet beacon, and so this one here can build ships, the like another evacuator, the marauder. So these are the various. There's the Titan there, the Verastra Titan, can all be built from the fleet beacon, and so these are considered to be civilian facilities. And the last one we have is the phase resonator. So we've got different things, but the ones that we need is these two in here. Not so much this one now, because we've already got. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I think we still can get that one. So that one is pretty important. If I go and click on it, if I go and click on this first one, for example, just to get the small ships, the first thing that comes up is, you can see there it says. If I click on it and press Control at the same time, it will just auto place it. But see how there's like a little bricks that are on my thing, and then I've got a gravity well, so I can build it anywhere in this. Like not the gravity well, but this is the placement area. Anywhere I actually want them. Now I'm going to build them sort of towards where I want to be moving off to do attacks and things like this. So I think I'll just sort of leave them around this side, but I can place them, or I can just go Control and click on it, and it will just auto place. But let's move these in fairly close together. So we're going to build one of them in here, and so that's now in the queue. So that's going to be built, and then we'll just go and build the other one as well. So this one takes up another 2, and so we've now got we've used up 2 of the 5. This will be the 4 of the 5. Let's just bring it in fairly close, but so we can just still have some stuff going on in between with what's going on there. So that's going to be 2 of these civilian slots. Let's go across to the built orbitals. We've then got a phase missile platform. So a heavy phase missile launcher to defend nearby structures and the planet from hostile cruisers and capital ships. We're going to need that one. We've then got regeneration bay. We will need this fairly soon to restore hull points to friendly ships and structures over time. We've then got the phase jump inhibitor. Won't worry about that one so much. The pulse gun defense. So this is a pulse gun turrets defend nearby structures and the planet from less durable hostile ships. So we can expect small ships to be coming in initially. So let's just go across and build one of them as well. That's going to be the range. Let's go and pop that one just a bit further out, but covering these different areas. So let's just go and position that one there. And so they're now all queued up and ready to be built when we unpause. But again, if I'm miles away, like if I'm looking at something else going on, I can just press Control and click on anything that I need built urgently. And then if I don't like where they've been positioned, I can then come back in and then do that special action of rearranging where they are. So I can come back when I've got time to do it. So there's a lot you can do, a lot of great automation in the game. Okay, so Muzzle Paint saying, what's the biggest improvement or change from the original? Played that for years, says Muzzle Paint. So, and Battlemate, as I say, Battlemate is probably the best person to answer these questions because he's had so much more time with the game, and also he's been he's been dealing with the people who really know what's going on with it as well. So, so Battlemate's saying, yeah, the entire game has been improved on the strategic level and tactical with more detail right across the board. So Battlemate's saying that you can add planets and fleets to the hotbar at the left by selecting the entity and right-clicking on the location in that bar. Oh, okay, so I can do that with planets as well. Yeah, I've been dragging them up there, but so what do I do is you can to the hotbar on the left by selecting the entity and then right-clicking on the location. Okay, right. So so then you use those to navigate around the map very quickly. Yeah, it's sort of one of these things where if I wanted to do, like, this is our fleet. Let's just unpause, by the way. And we can just check to sort of see what's going on here. So the time scale is just one time scale at this point in time. So they're going to be moving off. Now, different things are happening again. Sorry, I'll just mention these as they come up. So derelict loot has been discovered. If we go and have a look at this one. So in this system, we've actually got one of our ships has come. Well, actually, not one of our ships. One of our allied ships has come in. So this navigation ship has come in and found a derelict loot. This is new to this version of the game. These are protected only lightly, but these give you a big boost to your resources and also to your experience. So these are worth trying to sort of smash out if you can. And then we've got 2 lots of them actually. Yeah, is that the second one? Not sure where they are. Anyway, that's that's all around this particular character's area. So it's still very, very early days at this point in time. So let's just move across. But it is a beautiful game. Like it really is stunningly beautiful, and it's sort of one of these things where I haven't been getting too lost in anything that's actually happening. It's as I say, probably when I do play the game myself, like just for my own enjoyment, I may, like if we can turn the actual of like the orbitals down a lot, I would either turn them off or turn them right down. But it is a big feature, a big new feature of the game, and I know a lot of people will be looking forward to that. Anyway, let's continue on. I'm going to do that a lot, where I use the space bar. I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water.
Planet development finished.
Okay. So we just click on it. We can then sort of see that we've got... yep, the mining went up. That's good. Just grab myself a drink of water. Now these guys have come through in this system. If we just press number 1 again. And so they're now firing on another one of these Cobalt Light frigates. And this is protecting this system. And this is actually interesting. This is an ice world. Time to stop again. This is an ice world. This is probably going to be a little bit much for us initially. And what's it going to... We'll find out what this thing's going to do. There may be there's not that many defenders. We'll see how we go. If we start to take too much heat, we'll just come back out. Ice worlds are full of crystal, and so this will be our main crystal supply. And quite often you'll find that that's the case. When you start a game, your actual home world will then have a safe crystal supply, and that's what this ice world is. So we'll just get rid of the local riffraff.
Planet development finished. Our fleet has engaged the enemy.
I just want, once we start to lose a bit, I'll then sort of micromanage what does go on here. There goes the bombers.
I await your command. Development finished.
Come on, get out of there, get out of there. You can see the armor.
Immediately.
The others going. They're okay. This is the antimatter, the blue line. There we go. We'll just smash our way through. This thing's back in action again.
Speak. I await your command.
Its shielding has had enough time to come back up again. And it's repairing. See how it's repairing the everything? Our big ship is that just only the shields are really sort of taking the brunt of what's going on. So this one's now coming up for the subspace rupture. And the little bombers are now coming out of this ship and actually doing the attacks. There's a siege frigate there. So it's just slowly sort of being worked away.
I await your command.
And this thing's almost now healed up. These are fine. So this ship has become the main target, and it's big enough to take the heat. So moving that out saved that little ship there. So we don't need to escape from here at all. Here comes the bombers. So the 3 bombers. We can see what's happening with the enemy ships as well. There's a flak frigate there somewhere. That one there. All that's left is the siege frigate and the flak frigate. Being smashed. So our bombers that have been carried in by the evacuator are fine. Now what we can do is, I think, if we just go and pause that again, can we do colonize insufficient antimatter? So we need the antimatter to we do need to colonize this. So I'm just going to keep this one across here. So I'll just go back to the first. We'll just move them all down. So the antimatter has to come back up. We need 90 antimatter on the actual ship itself. And you can see at the moment we've only got 21. So 21 antimatter on the actual ship. 3 bombers, 3 out of 3 bombers is all good. We've had 7 kills with this ship actually so far. But we'll just move that one in because this is a vitally important planet. In the meantime, these ones are just going to keep on sort of doing what they're doing with their building. How are we going with this build queue overall? Looks like we've built everything we had to build. So with this one now done, we now actually have the ability to now go and start to build our ships. So we've got the nano assembly factory, and I might just move the, if I just right click, this is going to be the assembly of where they all go. Let's just go and get both of those sort of together, and then we'll just keep this one, the weapons defensive area there as well. Just go back in. One thing I like is at least you can see everything that has to be done. If we go to ships, excuse me. So this is what we have available to us. At the moment, we have the Jakara navigators. These are the scout ships, the corvettes. Now we need the Tussarak raiders are going to. Actually, how are we going with that? Yeah, we've still got pretty good metal production. Actually, we now actually have some research available. So I'm going all over the place here. With our research, can we? It's volcanic occupation. Orbital extraction. I'm going to click that one so we can start the process of trying to secure this. So this one will then give us the metal and crystal extractors, which we need desperately. So I don't know if I can queue things up. I haven't tried that. Yeah, so it's going to go orbital extraction followed by volcanic. I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's very, very cool, actually. So as we have a need, we can just put it in the queue, and as the research becomes available, they'll just go and do it. For the assault, what else would we be wanting? This is the Tossarak Raider prototypes. And so these are going to a small agile ship well equipped to perform raids on enemy orbital infrastructure or destroy hostile cruisers. Perfect. We'll grab that one as well. So we'll start to queue these up. And I can see a support cruiser that reduces enemy combat effectiveness. So probably a lot of these. What have we got there? Improved. Yeah, we won't do the improving stuff just yet. Skeletal reinforcement. Yeah, actually that's not bad. I'll just get a few of these things queued up. Atomic engineering. It's not bad as well. I'll just get the basics of what we want, and we'll come back in and sort of see what we end up having. All right, that's good. So we've sort of queued up a few different research in through that other side. One of the other things too, if you forget to do stuff, don't worry about it because it's all resources. So you can see there the Empire research points. We've got one of them at this point in time. Our research rate bonus is 12%. We'll get a bit more of that fairly soon. But it's not wasted. Like it's not as if you're wasting resources here. It's all very, very streamlined the way it does actually work. Diplomacy we had a quick look at, but we can't do much with it in this instance because we're playing a team game. We've got minor factions. We saw them before when we had a bit of a look. So these are essentially going to be the crystal market and then the exotic market. This is interesting. Last one we had was the crystal market and the metal market. So this is where we can get exotics from. Now, because we've made contact with them, we need to have these influence points to then be able to deal with them, and we don't actually have any of those at this point in time. So where did we get up to? Sorry, guys. So I'm saying, yeah, the user interface is a massive improvement. Been playing it multiplayer a little with the development team. It really allows you to manage everything quickly, but it's also great for slower paced play. Yeah, it's. I can see it's so much more relaxing to play than the original, or less frustrating, I guess. Yeah, but I'm saying the capital ship you have is very powerful and tank a lot of damage. Yep, so Isis Crystal, Sithil, yes, yeah, so that's the way. Volcanic is metal, I think, typically. Or no, Ferrous is metal. Yeah, anyway. There's more planet types than what there was before as well, I believe. Yeah, but I'm saying, can I tell you the best way to build ships for your fleets now? Actually, let me guess that one. I think all you do, actually, I think you say you can do it the old way and just build ships by the shipyard and then add them manually. Yeah, but what you can do, and this is what I'm pretty sure that Battle Map is going to say, is you can click on your fleet. It brings your fleet up with the actual composition. And all you then do is just go and say, okay, I want to have, say, 3 more of these now that I've got what I can build. That will then build them up for the fleet. Is that what you're going to say? Fastest way to add to your hotbar on the left, select the new slot, and then right-click it when you've got your fleet selected. So, yeah, then you see you can build directly into your fleet. Oh, so you can even build new fleets that way as well and just build them straight in. So you can end up sort of creating a... you can end up essentially manage. There's so much of the micromanagement has been taken out of the game. It really is relaxing to play. So yeah, Battlemate saying yeah, that's the way. Are pirates still in the game? Not sure actually if they're active in the sense there's certainly independence everywhere you look, but not sure if they're actually active. Escalated reinforcement necromancy, says Thithel. Sean Moe is saying just right click on the fleet in the top right, so they join right away. So yeah, so if I go up to there, I can basically add it. I can do that by selecting. If I have a group of ships, I can select them and then do it that way. But I can just go back to my alpha fleet. This will then make it so I've got 6 of these Ravaska skirmishers. So they'll start to come in. I can then just keep on building more and more of the different types of ships as well. So we'll get the Tosser-up Raiders. We'll bring some of them in as well, and we'll just end up with a fairly large sort of fairly large fleet in through here. Now, what else was I talking about? God, I was talking about resources. There's so much fleet supply. So what this is actually now really important. So this is actually the limitation in the game, and so we need to manage this as well. So use supply, you can see maximum supply is 100, and we've used supply of 86. Now, every ship that we essentially put into fleets and things is going to take off this fleet supply. But this is really the important thing in the game. And when we go into a system or into any sort of combat, it's going to be who's got the biggest supply will often sort of be who comes through it successfully. And you can see there, so building units. We've got the Duracell activator is it says it's worth so we use 86. 50 of that is from the evacuator, and 18 is coming. So 6 each from each of the skirmishers, and the QQ we've got another lot of those coming through. So we do need to improve our actual fleet supply. That will be important. Colonized planets. We've just got Thurani is the only one we have in through there. So again, we can have a look at the planet list. I should be clicking on these to so you can see what's going on. Sorry, just got a bit of a sore throat. I'm talking too fast. So Sheraz is saying, do you think I should buy it on Epic or wait for Steam? You think it's worth it to buy it right now? I don't think you get to play this version right now. I don't know what's on the Epic store. I think that what's going to happen is they're going to develop this version. It won't be available on Epic until after the Steam release. And so that's my understanding. I'm not 100% sure about that though. So, but that's my understanding of what actually does go on with it. So I don't know if Battle Mode knows any more detail than that, but that's something that you do want to have. Again, this is another way you can manage everything. So you can sort of see through here, when I do go into the planets, I'll then have all my planet list. Summary, I can go through, for example, this is the survey again, any of those different bits and pieces that I can sort of then just go and add in. Logistics back in through here as well. Logistics we do want to keep on trying to improve over time, particularly for our home world. So I might just go and throw another one of those in. So I can do it from here. The planet items are what we're building on the planet itself. And again, we've got the same thing there with logistics. The civilian orbitals, we can then go and have a look and see what we want to be building immediately from in here, and military orbitals. So you've got a lot of stuff you can do just in this little screen. So again, if you're sort of in the middle of something and you don't want to be going back, to another part of the solar system to try to micromanage something. You can do everything can be done through macro management now. Yeah, so sorry I can't really answer that one about what is on Epic. Yeah, Gentleman's saying, I'm not sure about this specifically about the different versions between Epic and Steam. Sorry, that's a question for the community manager or developer. Not sure if Blair's still here or not. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, but that's that's something that I don't know about that. It's sort of, I mean, this is the development for the Steam release is essentially what we're looking at. And I don't know how much of this has come in on top of the Epic build, but the Epic build will catch up in 3 or 4 months' time when the game is released. So just be aware of that. Okay, so that's the colonized planets. Back over through here we have markets. This is where we can buy and sell resources. So we can actually go and, at this point, we can go and sell crystal. We've got the this is the Jixon Expeditionary Force and the Veritak Transport Cabal. Now these ones sells exotics, so we can actually go and buy these. The sell price, now this one does use credits. We can sell crystal for credits if we wanted to. So amount to sell, we could sell them in terms of 100 and then get the credits in that way. We don't need to do it just yet, and we haven't discovered the metal market yet. But this is another way we can supplement or rebalance our credits, metal, and crystal production. So I can see I can buy it, but its release date says the 27th of the 10th, 22. I'm not sure it's the same. Sorry for the problem. I'm not sure what that would be. It's not definitely not the Steam version. Is that the Epic version? The Epic one. It's funny, like I actually thought that the Steam release of Sins was going to come at the start of the year, based on the Epic. In fact, last year I think that date you're looking at is the Epic release. So the Epic release is being updated constantly. It's not an old version on there. It says battle mode. But yeah, so that the release, usually there's 12-month exclusive before it comes to Steam. But in this case, it's been sort of like it's been pushed back now until so it's going to be closer to 2 years, I guess, by the time it actually sort of does release onto the actual Steam, into Steam itself. Again, there is a if you do want to get more information on the game, there is a link in the description where you can actually sort of go and click on that one. And it's like a tracking link, but it is just a link straight through to this Steam page. You can wishlist it there. You can also look at the dev diaries and the stuff that Battle Mode has done. Actually, if you look at any of the video content, pretty much there is going to be any of the descriptions is Battle Mode just going through different things with the game as well. So by all means, go and have a look at that because there's a lot of information there, a hell of a lot actually. So sorry, everyone who replies back to battle mode is going to get smacked on the wrist from Nightbot. Bruno's saying 2 years is a bit frustrating. Well, it's around the corner now. It's getting close. Battle mode, you need to change from all caps. You're just a menace. That's all it is. You're an absolute menace. Anyway, this is the markets. So we've had a look at that one. You've got the phase resonance. I don't know what this is actually. So allocate resonance points between mobility, combat, and utility to customize transient improvements to your units when they exit phase space. Your Empire has no resonance points yet. So what do we get with that one there? This is okay. So this is something for the for our faction basically. So we have that one through there. These are the exotics. So we've got exotic factory. Your Empire currently has no factories to build exotics on demand. Use planet surveying to discover exotics. So we'll worry about that a bit later on, I guess. If we go and click that one open. So these are the different exotics that we've got a little bit of them at this point in time, and then we saw the future orbits there before. So I think we've now gone through all of the. This is actually telling us a summary of whatever location we're at. So this is telling us, for example, all it's really telling us here is that we've got the planet, which is an ice planet. Actually, no, it says we need research to... I thought we could do that. No, we can't. Okay, well, that's another thing that we need to then go and do. We've got volcanic, Arctic. Can reshuffle, I hope. Yeah, Arctic is the first one that we want. So we'll wait with our big ship actually, or maybe we can go back and it shouldn't be that long. Actually, we'll focus on getting research. So let's go back to the actual our main planet, because there's no point, they can't colonize that just yet. Didn't think of that. We'll go back into here and we'll just go and build. We've now got 4 of 8 because we've now sort of got to the next phase with our logistics. We've still got more logistics on the way. And then if we have a quick look at the, where do we have it? It's Beacon. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, we need to do this one as well. So we've got the crystal extractor. Yeah, we've got these as well. We'll be wanting to get, well, we need the research here. So there's really, we're a bit sort of stuck with this until we actually get the research. So the other research that we require is the Testra research lab, which we need to research first. So that's something we do need to get. I don't know if we can queue these up. Oh, we can actually. That's interesting. So we can actually go and queue them up. I'll just move these off to the side here somewhere. I can keep them away from the building. So even though we don't have the research for it yet, we can still go and queue them up. So that takes us up to 5. Let's have a quick look at the research again. So what was it called again? It was called the Testra. If I just do lab. Okay, so we've got the labor, advanced research labs. Yep, there we go. So this is the one that we want as well. Oh, have we already got it? Have we already got it there? Okay, we'll throw that one in after the Arctic. Okay, so that's done. And yep, we've got the pulse gun defense. This one's now ready to go as well. You've got the assemblers coming back in. Let's just unpause the game. Nice. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. Like, it is just stunningly good. And the thing I like about it too is it's sort of like it really is. Everything just looks amazing in it. Like, it's and you don't tend to get lost with it either. Like, there we go. We're now building these little ships. So we now move across to the other fleet. I think what we might do is bring the. Okay, so we've got more stuff actually happening. Planet development completed. So we've got more logistics. Now, actually, next question, and I don't know where it is. How do I improve my fleet supply? I'm getting very low on metal as well, so we now actually have a bit more of a problem with this. I'm not sure how to improve this fleet supply. There's no tutorial with the game yet, but it will be worked on. So battle mode saying research and mining has changed in Sins 2. Orbital research is not a requirement now for research, but instead they speed your research up significantly. And Cornish Fish and Game is sort of saying the only thing I didn't like about the original was the unrealistic solar systems. Looks like that hasn't changed, but it still looks like a fun game. Yeah, look, it's very congested. The way it works, at least they're now orbiting. If you are into that, like if you're looking for some sort of realism, you still got like your pro grade planets, like which is showing all of these, and then you'll have like your retrograde planets, which will slowly sort of creep past in the opposite direction, like these guys here. This is interesting. Like if we have a bit of a look at this one here, these ones skip past. That's the markets. This is interesting as well. See this one here. This is actually orbiting this particular. We've got a primordial planet there with an unknown system there, which is orbiting around this. And so as the orbits change, watch what happens. So it's orbiting that particular little system. That's pretty damn cool, I got to say. Like the way that's sort of working. It's pretty good what they've actually done with that. So that's the future orbits. So you can sort of see what's coming up, which changes all of your jump lanes. Fleet supply is located in the top run of the military research. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we better go and get more of that. And if we just do supply. Yep, so this one here, maximum supply 250. Yeah, that's going to be very, very important. We'll queue that up as well. This is chewing up a lot of our resources, but we'll get that one going. In fact, I'll probably get that one going before we do much else. You can see we're sort of partway through the research in here. All right, thanks for that. Thanks for that battle mode. If you hold the key, that's the single quote mark, you can move your mouse left and right and see the orbits up to an hour in the future. So if you, what was that one? If you hold the single quote mark and you can move your mouse left and right. No, that's not doing it. That was the quote. No, it's not working on mine. Shift. No, not doing it. Just try it with it, nothing selected. No, don't know where that one is. It must be in the keyboard shortcut somewhere else. Yeah, Cornish Fishing Games are saying, yeah, the orbits are cool, I've got to admit. So, like previously, they were just, everything was just static, whereas now it's all around the Deneb Al-Ghidi in this particular instance. Another thing I'm actually unsure about is how random the starts are for the actual setups. I'm just not sure if the starting points for the I'm trying to say, I'm not sure if the start locations are always the same with the maps, or whether they're just algorithms for how to build random maps. I'm just not sure how that one actually does work. Yeah, that might be different on an upside down world. Keyboard, mate. Yeah, well, I use the US keyboard. You probably use some obscure. Yeah, anyway. I won't keep on going down that track. Benjamin's saying, a minor detail question, is there going to be a larger variety of background skyboxes? I've only seen maybe 2 or 3 in all of the screenshots and dev diaries. I'm not sure, actually. That's a good question. I don't know. The game is going to be fully modded. It's going to be a lot you can do with modding as well. So I'm guessing that may be something that could come with mods if it's not done in game. So saying, yeah, try turning the keyboard upside down. Maybe that will fix it. Anyway, I'm not sure. One thing we can do is just press escape, go back into the settings and have a quick look at the key bindings. So that would be under future orbits. It's the tilde. That's the scrub future orbits. That's the tilde key, not the single quote. Yeah, there we go. So that's a scrubber for seeing what's happening over the course of the next hour. Cool. Okay, so that's just the tilde key, not the single quote key. So, well, it's actually it's the inverted quote, isn't it? The inverted quote, I think, is the other the accent. Is that what the other? It's in the top left of the keyboard anyway. So Battleman's saying some maps are pre-made and some are randomly generated. The random maps are clearly labelled. Oh, okay, cool. So Battleman's saying yes, there are lots of skyboxes. That's good as well. Yeah, I mean it's a fairly simple thing to add. So be surprised if there weren't more than just the 2. I'm not sure if we can chop and change those on the fly, or if they're sort of preset into the actual maps themselves. Anyway, let's unpause again. We're going to grab our first fleet, and we are going to just go back and move into one of these locations. Thanks for answering so many of the questions, Battlemate. I know I always slag off at you and vice versa, but I do appreciate that. It's very, very valuable, so thank you. And we'll give a shout out to Battlemate as well. If you if you haven't sort of seen his content on YouTube, then I would highly recommend that you go and subscribe to his channel, and subscribe to this channel too if you like the content. Okay, this one's coming back in to join up with these group. he's missed the boat.
Research finished. Preparing for phase jump.
Ah, damn it. I've screwed up because now you need to go back. You've got work to do. So you're going to come back. I'll just grab the first of the whole fleet.
I'll see to it.
Just made it in time.
An excellent.
Start to colonise there, and so that will then use up some of its abilities back in through this other side as well. So we can always colonise the asteroids. Like we can sort of put an outpost on the asteroids. Triple Cone is saying, Daz, thanks for all your hard work. You're one of my go-to channels with content like this. Oh, thanks for that. Look, I try to be as honest as I possibly can be about it. And even though this is sponsored content, it's still, I'm under no instruction to sugarcoat anything or anything like that. I wouldn't do it if I was. I've been asked in the past by other developers to only show positives, and that doesn't work that way, because really important that you guys figure out whether it's what you want or not. Yeah, we've got planet development complete now. Okay, so we've got that one done. This one is now going to be set across, but I think it's. Have we already got that one?
Finished.
Now, actually, there was something we can do with right-clicking. If I got that one selected, great. Okay, that's much easier. Just bring the fleet down below it. So that's our next planet that we actually have in through here. And so again, while things are happening, I'll just grab the first like the fleet again. If I go and grab that one, yeah, we've got all of those. And we'll just go straight to this one in here.
Finally.
So I'll move across into that gravity well. And this one here, we then start the process of building up this particular area. And so we again have different things we can sort of get with the on the actual planet itself. We have orbitals, so orbital structures we can go and build. So the crystal extractors, once we actually get those
Finished.
research complete on the extractors, there we go. So we can now sort of just go back in, and we should be able to.
More planet upgrades.
Oh, we need the planet upgrades. So we've got the what else do we have in through here? None of those we need.
Research finished.
Just pause it while I just get my bearings again. It's not. We don't have to develop that. It's the logistics. So at the moment we've got 0 orbital slots, and we need those for mining. So we need to go and get a couple of these. These are going to cost me again a fair bit of my metal production with what's actually coming up. So I'll just grab a few of those, and this will then take it from up to 5, which will be enough for us to get the crystal. We've also got mining as well, so we can get more crystal income that way. If we can research requisites something, that's okay. So we'll just get those things developed, and then with these again, I'm pretty sure I can just queue these up. Even though I don't have the research yet, I can just go and queue up all of those, and so that will then get our crystal cracking along. In the meantime, we can just go back into here, and again, we can, now that we've got this one, I can now just go back through.
More planet upgrades.
We need more upgrades, so we need to go and get.
More metal is required.
Okay, I mean, we can't quite get that one because we're now run out of metal. There we go.
More metal is required.
Yep, that's all we can do at this stage. Well, let's go and keep it going. So here comes the fleet. Our main fleet will now sort of move across. So our metals are now desperate.
Planet development finished.
And we're saying if you press Shift Tab, you can switch between movement mode between fast move and formation move. Shift Tab. No. That's not working. Games that ask you only for positives often do not have enough content if you would just do that. Yeah, I've never done that. It's sort of it's the fastest way. I think it's the fastest way to to lose you guys, basically. So it's not something I'm at all interested in doing. We need to get this metal mining actually even before the crystal mines. This is much more important. If I haven't tried this before, but if I go back in here, I don't know if I can right click and get rid of some of the mining. I can. Wow. I can, while they're building these, I can actually go back, get my metal back, and then go back and build the rest of these, and then come back. Okay, well that's really, really cool. I've got to say that's really cool. It means I don't have to leave this area to do the order of things. It's just doing it. That's really good. That's great, actually. I wasn't expecting to see that.
I need orders.
Shielding is dropping on this one here.
Your command. On my way. Absolutely. Standing by. Immediately.
So I can just press space just to see what's going on with these. This one's now back in the action again. This is now the one that's taking... So I can just micromanage the actual assault. Which is what I do.
I need orders. Our fleet is engaged.
Here we go.
Absolutely.
Get out of the way, guys. Get out of the way. I'm here.
What would you ask of me?
That's going straight into colonize. That's okay. I'll let it go. Oh, here we go. Actually, now we've got another upgrade. You can see there that with the action that this thing's done, it's now got enough experience to upgrade the actual ship itself. So we've got, for example, the colonization. If we go and get this one here, the cooldown is going to go. What's it what am I going to do? I'm guessing it's just going to be a bit faster. Subspace rupture. I think I'll just keep on. I'll just upgrade the colonization. So let's go and do that one. Here we go. Level gained.
Planet development finished. Our time.
It's a little 6, which is good. We're now focusing on this guy. So we'll just keep on developing this. All right. Now we've got even more metal in here. And a crystal. Great, that's good. Just get our alpha fleet yet again, and we'll go this way.
I'll see to preparing for phase jump. An excellent plan.
Just leave him in there.
Planet development finished.
Yep, so getting more logistics, that's fine. So again, if we just go back to the planets, these asteroids I won't worry too much about. I'll leave them there. research labs. I've only got one more civilian slot. I'll just get more logistics.
I need orders. Standing by immediately. I await your command. Standing by. Absolutely. I await your command. Our fleet has engaged the enemy.
Here they come, the bombers.
Standing by immediately. Planet development finished. I need orders.
We've got problems with the metal.
Immediately.
Sorry, with the armor, not the metal.
I await your command. On my way. Standing by. I await your command. Immediately. Standing by. On my way. I need orders. Immediately.
Too injured to do this. Just keep on cycling them through, just so we don't have to rebuild any. Yeah, this is good stuff. And then we've just got the siege frigate here. Upgrading defence is a good early upgrade for the fleets. I'd say, yeah, it keeps your frigates alive longer. I think we've got that underway. If we just pause again, just double check and see where we're up to. So we've got the, this is the suppliers. Actually, yeah, we don't have anything queued down the bottom there anymore. Just get rid of supply. So we've already done the atomic engineering, which does give us the extra points. Hull regeneration, that's going to be important for us. Let's go that way. I've already acquired that one. Defensive uplink. It's a planetary item. That's going to be important later on. Reintegration. Okay, this is important as well. Actually, sorry, no, that's the one we're already doing. I thought, oh, that's a completely different area, but no, that's not. I'll throw that one in there. That's what we've already got. Now, we've also then got the Defensor prototype. Small, quick hybrid ship capable of hunting down opposing missile strike. Yeah, okay, for point defense, that'll be good. And the Ceravun Overseer prototype. Yep, let's grab all of those. Yeah, we're out of civilian research. Now we do have mobile adjunct lab prototype. Let's get the antimatter up. Oh, yeah, we don't have any research points. Okay, no, I'm out of research. That's okay. Just leave it where that is.
Planet development finished. What would you ask of me?
This is a new aspect of the game. This is the derelicts, where we now have some ships protecting the derelict. And so we'll come back in, and the large ship, the battleship, can actually then go in and actually take this location.
Our time is short.
We want this one to be the target. And this will now just automatically go in and start the process of taking the derelict. We'll see a bar down below.
Research finished.
Where it will then start to pull this thing apart. And so the big ship ultimately should get enough experience to then get another upgrade out of this one. And then we can take this as well. I love that things just automatically happen. Like there's an assembler in here now, even though we haven't grabbed the system, but we have grabbed the system. Okay, so we've got this one now is available to us as well. So we need to get our logistics up. Metal is still our biggest problem.
Research finished.
Which is good. So we're getting on top of this. God, I like the interface. It's so well done.
Planet development finished.
So derelict loot collected. We picked up exotics. So we've picked up some Envar exotics and a heap of crystal resources as well. So so with that, yep, level gained. If we go back into the actual ship itself, we can now do the upgrades again. So look, I'll grab this one here, the gravity warhead. Why not? Let's just go and move that one in. And we now actually have the this world in here, which is a really important world because this is actually a world that is a choke point world. So this is one that we do need to defend very, very strongly. We have another choke point world there, but with a moon, which makes life a bit more interesting to control both of those. Let's continue on down to the Furnius system because we actually had set everything up to manage that. We've got the Surliac. Now we've still only got the fleet supply. Actually, no, we've got fleet supply. Maximum supply is now 250, so we can actually start to build a lot more as we come back through with the corvettes. We've got the frigates, the cruisers. Large cruiser capable of equipping a single remote phase gate or starbase deployment item in its large cargo bay. We don't need that one so much.
Preparing for phase jump.
These raiders, supply cost of 5. These are 6. Let's increase the fleet here. Now, what was said before about adding an empty fleet by left-clicking this button, let's go and do that. So we've got our beta fleet.
Engage the enemy.
And if I go and click on that one, I should then be able to build in... Oh, we're running out of...
Research finished.
So I'm going to grab another one of those. So we'll get the second fleet. And this tells us what's going on with combat as well. So we've got the we can see exactly what's going on there. So 77 supply against our 86 essentially, with other things coming back in. So a bit more involved than what we'd seen there before.
I await your command immediately. I need orders.
So we'll punch our way through here. And again, I personally just love it at 25 speed, like 0.25. It just looks so damn good. The actual combat itself. It is a beautiful game. God, it's good. This is one of the tricky ones. That's only a flak frigate. Where's the it's these guys here? Got a siege frigate back in this way. It's just 2 siege frigates. I thought it was 1 ship. This one here. This is the guy with his missiles. This is the Javelinus long-range missile cruiser. So this will target the capital ship that we've got, which you can see there. It's having an impact on what's going on. But once we can bring some of the other flak ships across, that will certainly help.
Our time is short.
Bombers are still sort of operating on the outside edge. So the missile group in through here. God, it just looks unbelievably good.
What would you ask of me?
One thing that's really, I've got to say, and you guys won't see this until you actually play the game, but one of the really cool things about this is that when you start to sort of zip around, it zips around very quickly until you get a ship sort of in the middle of where you're going, and if it sort of picks up that there's a ship that it wants to look at, it will then just lock in on it. And it then just, all of the actual focus is then on that one ship, which allows you to very quickly be able to navigate around. You're not doing it in 3D space. I can't think of another game that's done this, to be honest. This is really innovative for me. It may have been done elsewhere, but like it's sort of as soon as I go close to it, it then locks into here, or like it just locks in. Not so much for the selection, but just visually it locks in, and that's then what we've sort of focused on. So anything I do with rotating around, it's rotating around what I'm looking at. And as I say, I can't think of another game that does that one. I'm trying to rack my brains. Here goes the missiles. Now I have been told that the missiles will then have better streams coming in just in a handful of days. That'll be the next update. Will be to put some better graphics on those. So these will actually then look more. Actually, look at that! I'm actually hooked into a missile. I didn't realise it did that. I didn't realise that I could actually go to a missile, and there I'm now tracking the missile, and that's Point Defence has now sort of done something with it. I'm tracking this one. Here we go. Oh man, this is so cool. Bang! That one's gone as well. That's just awesome. So we've got Point Defence now coming back in. We've got the bombers, navigator. We've got the Tesseract raiders. If we press Alt again. Yep, so that's attacking the frigates and so on and so forth. This is the new little ship that we just brought in. Our smaller ships. There's more of these missiles. Didn't pick one up that time. Now we got it. Yeah, wow. It's just beautiful. The game is just stunningly beautiful. This is on 25%, so it's so we've still got a lot of ships coming back in the other side. Our shielding is dropping.
Our time is short.
Yeah, we're now sort of targeting the actual cruisers. These don't have shielding, they've only got armour. And I don't think their armour is that great. It's 775, so it's fairly big. Yeah, their missiles aren't really getting through on that side. Bombers are now operating very, very effectively back over through here. Okay, so while all that's going on, we can go back to our home. Can we build... It looks like we can build another capital ship. So we've got a few of these now. We will need a fair few things there to be able to pick up a Titan. Yeah, we can only have one of these in the Empire. But another capital ship would be fine. With the carrier. So another evacuator, devastator. That sounds pretty cool. Marauder. Disintegration beam. I actually like the idea of this carrier. Let's go and throw one of them in. So we'll just queue this one up. So this is now going to start being built from the other location that we had. Like these will clean up this force in through here, I think.
What would you ask of me?
Yeah, they're going to focus on the big guy.
Time is short.
All right. All right. So back into here. Yeah, so that's now being built. That's a research lab, and this is the one. This is the show. That's the. This is where it should be. Yeah, this is where we built the Titans and the capital ships. So that capital ship is being built there. More cruisers. The siege ships just soak up damage. They don't do much else. These are the dangerous ones. Let's find a bomber and just follow the bomber in. It's a bit janky. Oh, I'm disappointed. I'm bitterly disappointed. No, it's so good. I mean, this is a tiny little ship. It's zipping right out of the way, coming back in. God, this is good. This is so nice. Do another run on what? Where are those missiles going? Are they going back in around? They're homing missiles. You can follow the homing missiles in. Boom. Oh, this is so good. This is so damn good. And that's the end of that one. What epic battles. Isn't it cool? Yeah, so Cecil's saying, I said Vasari were a good pick. You are right. You are right. I mean, it's interesting. It's yeah, because I was worried. I was thinking, I don't know. This siege frigates hardly do anything. I'm just trying to make a run for it. And that gives us this one as well.
Speak.
Sufficient antimatter. The antimatter's down. We're at 62 at the moment. Alright, so that's going to be the choke point. We're going to need to build that location up. The thing I like about this, even like I've been pausing it a lot to talk about stuff, but it's actually like it's not overwhelming, you know. Like, and it's actually I'll just get back up to normal speed, just a one-time speed. I don't know what the fastest is. Wow, 10 times. I don't want to do that. There's too much that goes on.
Quickly.
Oh, what's that? Is that a carrier? Oh, we call them in. Right, so here's the carrier. Just come in. So the carrier has come in. I'm going to push the carrier into the beta fleet. So if I right-click with that one there, that should be now.
Development finished.
Did I get it right?
Don't underestimate me.
There's a control right-click.
What is it now? I need orders.
Yeah, that's it. Control right-click brings the capital ship in. So this one here, I'm just going to go with the second fleet,
Your command.
and Control 2 will be the second fleet, of course. And in this case, we've got 4 of the Terrorsuck Raiders, 4 of the Ravastra skirmishers. That's all okay as well. And we now actually have the big capital ship. The capital ship needs to be updated, so we've got nanite armor. We've got repair cloud. That's pretty damn good. Let's go and grab that one. Let's go off and move in the other direction. Or maybe we actually do a swap over and go from here out. Although, yeah, because we want to get to here. And we want to control these as we go. So let's go in with the second fleet and move across to that location.
Devious. What would you ask of me?
And we've already taken this one. So it's automatically taken that one there. Now we do have this one in through here as well, which is unexplored. I'll let them heal up a little bit. So this is a very important planet for us. Let's get our logistics up. We've got a lot of metal now and crystal. So we'll get the metal up. Let's go back across into the actual into the orbitals. Metal has been our thing that sort of slowed us down. So we'll queue these up in through here. And we will start another one where we end up with the nano assembly factory. So we'll just get the smaller ships in from in here. And again, we'll have them on this side over this other side. And we'll go back for the... we've got the missile platform. This will be for bigger ships. This is a choke point.
More planet upgrades are needed.
Oh, we need military. Yeah, military 0. What do we need to get in here? Which is funny, I thought they actually gave us military. That's strange. Yep, we can't put the military on this one. Let's just go back to the other one. Actually, with this one here, it's so important that we will actually just go and control right click. No, with that one selected, there we go. Just position that one up there.
Planet development finished.
Logistics is done. If we go back to this one here,
our fleet has engaged the enemy. What is it now?
Let's have a look and see. There goes heaps of bombers. Yeah, the ship's coming back in. Yeah, these little asteroids shouldn't really be a big problem. This will be more combat related. This particular one. Yeah, what was I trying to do? I was trying to see if I could figure out why. What this one actually has. Yeah, this one doesn't have military either. So to add the military, must be something to do with research again. Let's just go and just backspace for a second and just pause it. So you can still get the upgrade for military at the bottom right, the beaker looking icons. That's the... It doesn't give me actual military orbitals, which is what I want. Oh, there we go. Military orbital slots, this defense. Yep, okay. That one there. So if I go back to Furnace and get the defenses up, I can go from 0 to 20. In fact, I can go to and make it even bigger again. That's as much as I can do. Just get a second one. Yep, let's do that. Okay, that then does allow me then to really bolster this particular one. So yeah, the shield does that. Yep. So we've got that one there. and not that. We want to go to this one here. So now we can start to build these. So we've got the star base that requires. We've got a lot more research for that one through there. We've got the phase missile platforms. We've got the regeneration bay, which we probably will want here as well. Yeah, we're building that nano factory, so we can build up a small group of ships just to protect this system. The phase jump inhibitor we probably don't really need. The pulse gun defense. Let's just leave a group of those out there, and so that will protect against this this area coming in through this other side. And if we have a quick look at the military research, what we actually have. Gee, what was it again? Phase, we've got missile and gun, so pulse and phase. Not sure which one it is. I thought we already had that. If we we've already got this one. It's not telling us what it unlocks. Let's have another quick look. Phase missile. So it's not telling us what we actually require. Oh, hang on. No, that's already there. Military cost slot 2. Oh, okay. No, that's all fine. So these ones cost 2. These ones cost 2. So then the other ones we have is a regeneration bay, which we do want to get as well. And so this one repair. It says that it requires, research required regeneration bay prototype in Warfare 2. So if we have a look in there, this is Warfare 2. Regeneration bay. Funny, I thought we'd already got that as well. Should be in survival, I would have thought. There it is. Oh, insufficient warfare points. All right, so we need to up our research. We might go right back to the ice world and do that there. Get our logistics right up, and we can do the warfare research there. Just get a couple more of those. Because we don't need to protect this world here. This one's sort of very, very safe. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Just go and throw that one in there. Okay, let's just unpause and wait till this gets up to level 2. Alright, so these guys are now done. Where are they off to?
I need orders.
Yeah, it's just going to sit back. We need to control this.
Executing. Planet development.
This is our friend.
What would you ask of me? Finally.
Now, I'm not sure if the other ones, we've got the, what we actually have through here. This is the Duran Migrator. We need to get one of these. And should be able to pick this one up from one of these here. Wait for that one to be built. You know, actually, I've done this the wrong way around. I'm going to grab the first again. I'm going to move them down to here.
An excellent plan.
There we go.
Preparing for phase jump. Planet development finished.
There we go. Now we can get what we wanted. Nope, still insufficient war.
Our fleet has engaged the enemy.
Let's get all of those. Yeah, I'm not understanding this bit of it. I'll have to try to figure out what's going on with these. Just pick up all of those. We also can't do those yet either. Oh, here we go. Now, we haven't looked at this before. This is actually this is an auction. And so this is new in the game as well. And so the way that this actually works is that we actually don't have anything we can do with these guys. So we don't have influence as such. So I'm not sure if we can accrue it. If we were playing as a tech, we do automatically. We get some of this for what we have. But in this case, we don't actually have this. And so the auction running in through here, we've got the crystal stockpile coming through. It's saying basically that they're going to give 750 crystal to somebody. If we go into the auction, if we go and click on it, on the actual auction itself, we have insufficient influence points. There must be a way for us to pick them up, I guess. But if we don't look at it there, if we have a look at it from here, yeah, we just don't. If we click on it, we're trying to bid influence points. Now, I think we can do that one if we go through our tech tree. There will be a thing in the tech tree here that will then allow us to start to pick up influence with these with the other groups, but not sure how far down the tech tree it actually is. So we need to sort of go and search that one out there. So Zarks is saying, hi Daz, is there a release date on Steam? Steam page says states Q3 2024. I know that it's going to be, like, it says summer as well in other places, so Q3 is all we actually have. Yeah, it's, God, I sort of, I know what my schedule is from sponsorships and stuff, but I'm not really allowed to talk about that. So I know it's Q3. I don't have an actual date, but I've got a rough period of time, and even that may be incorrect. But yeah, Q3 is definitely where everything is being lined up for that one, and yeah, I would be guessing maybe 3 or 4 months from now would be sort of where you'd be looking at this point in time. So Cornish Fish and Game is saying this game is immersive in a way that typical 4X games cannot pull off. I agree with you 100%. This is actually, it's interesting because you're into things straight away. Like there's always something to do. It's not as if you're waiting for stuff to actually occur. It just happens. Yeah, it's very, very interesting the way it does actually work. And of course, like this is this literally pretty much is a first look for me. This is interesting. We've now got this planet. So Praxidus is now coming back through. Actually, no, that's still going the same way. This one here was one that came in the retro. This is a retrograde. Everything else is moving the other way. If we just go and press the tilde key, we can then sort of scrub between it, and you can see that this one's going to then disappear from the system, and then eventually, like in about an hour's time, this one here will then open back up. And so it's going the opposite direction around the solar system. It's an incredible game, I've got to say. Yeah, it is super immersive. It's one of these games. I don't feel rushed, and I'm not someone who typically likes to play. Oh, geez, typically likes to play games where I feel like I'm being rushed along. Let's go and have a look at this one and just see what goes on here.
Development finished. Standing
This is our second fleet. So we've got missiles all over the place in here. Should be targeting the big carrier, the Scarantra carrier.
Research finished.
So see the health just by pushing the space bar down. So all of the detail then comes back up.
Research finished.
I've come across one of the enemies over here now as well. Far away are they? Way over there. So there must be another one back out here somewhere that we just haven't got to yet. Oh wow! Look at this. So we're seeing our friend has come in with look at the size of their fleet. This is actually something that's worth having a look at, because like just to get a bit of a feel as to where the development we probably should be. Like they've got heaps of these skirmishers. They all just skirmishers, and they've got a defencer in through there as well. Yeah, a couple of defences, but this is actually their main. They've just got fleets without big ships in them into there. And they control all of this, so they've got a very, very secure location back in through this other side. There's their evacuator coming back through their side. I love the colours on this as well. Like it's nice, you know. Like this is a red, and you can tell it's red without even sort of like, you know, everything is tinted there in their colours. So like it's nice actually. There's a blue. This is an enemy Provka Scout Corvette. So one of the tech corvettes is trying to sort of just come back through. And then they've got the Ferris planet back in through there. They're building up in this other location. Yeah, they've got a research lab, fleet beacon. Yep, so they've got everything else that they require. They've gone off to this one. Yep, yeah, they've got this one as well. It's interesting, they haven't actually developed. Oh, yes, they have. They have developed these. So they've got them all under control. Yeah, so we're about the same, I guess. Same level of development, which is fine. So we're sort of we're doing okay. So we'll move across with this migrator. Fleet number 1 is on its way back this way.
Preparing for phase jump.
Now the shielding is dropping here very, very quickly. Whoa, there's a lot there.
Standing by.
Where are you off to? Just to go to that moon. This moon is circling this particular location. We don't want that to happen. So we're going to have to go back. So the second is going to have to go back and start to kill off some of these.
Open fire! Kill them all.
All right, that'll do. Let's just slow down to say maybe 50%.
Planet Our fleet has engaged the enemy. Don't underestimate.
Shielding is really dropping here. There's so many of these big ships in here. Okay, we've managed to, Point Defense managed to finish off some of these missiles. You can see there are shield points dropping down to 44. Damn, there's a lot here.
Standing by.
I think we might have to get out of here.
A capital ship's shields are offline. Devious.
Off you go. Get out of there. Now we've only got 250 there, remember? So we're up to 242 now with our limits. I guess up to 500. Yeah, what's that? Insufficient warfare research. Now, there we go. Research points owned 3, required 4. So we need to get one more. Okay, so again, just pause that again. I think I now understand what's going on there. So these are the actual research locations that we actually have. And what we need to do is we need to go back in and just make sure that we've actually got enough of them around the place. So if we go back to planet items aren't going to help us all that much. I don't think they will. Yeah, warfare research points of +3. Yeah, so we can't build those. So that's already done at this location. So that's actually, these are the things we build on the surface, which is not what we want. Military orbitals also aren't going to help us. If we go back to the summary. So what we need to do is we need to bolster this. We've got one more that we can build there, one more that we can build in there. We're at maximum in terms of our logistics. And we can still do it at Fernies as well. We should try to get some of these built. Yeah, by doing that, that should then take us through into the military research ultimately. Now, will we escape? I mean, I'm sure we will, but the our points are dropping quickly. We do want this world. Now, have we claimed this one yet? Yes, we have. And in this case, it's more the metals again. We're sort of out of metal at this point in time. Just wait until we get enough. There we go. We can get another metal in there.
Finished.
But it is a very, very good game. I'm going to have to start to wind things up here, guys, as well. I hope that's giving you enough of a view. Like, we didn't get Titans built or anything like that, but it really is exceptional. Like, I've got to say, like, it's sort of like as was said before, you know, by Cornish Fish and Game, he's saying the game is immersive in a way that typical 4X games just cannot pull off. It's the little things. It's the little things like zooming in, and then it just hooks in. So I don't have to. Hey, look, no hands. And when I'm in here, if I just right click, I can. You know, I'm just looking at it from the perspective of this little ore carrier. You know, like it's it's this assembler basically. It's just moving around to go and assemble stuff in through here. It's just a beautiful game, and it's exactly right between being engaging, like with always something to do, but not overwhelming. Now, I think I'm still playing it at I was playing it at 50% speed, but playing it, you know, just it's a game that is not overwhelming, but it's still intricate. There's still intricacy, there's still planning, there's still all sorts of different things going on, which is very, very cool. what else, have we got anything else there? So Zarks is saying the game seems reasonably priced at the Epic Game Store, though I'm worried it might follow the same path as Galaxy 4 with an add-on that costs money, but it's part of the release game on Steam. No, I believe, I read it somewhere, somewhere publicly available, because it's not something that I actually, I stumbled across it a week ago. There's dev diaries that talk about that, and I'm pretty sure, I'm about 95% sure, that essentially once the Steam version comes out, the Epic Store will then just catch up with it. Basically, is my understanding of the base game. There won't be separate add-ons or anything like that if you do actually have the Epic version. The Epic version, like this version that I'm playing, is going to be for the Steam release. I don't know when these changes will get to the Epic Store. The things that we sort of see over time. Here we go. That one's now done what it's doing. It's but it just is beautiful. Like, it is just such a beautiful game. But I do have to sort of wind up, guys. So I'm going to have to leave it here. Can it be paused? Yep, absolutely. Backspace, bang, active pause. I can now go back in and give instruction to the different ships. In fact, we've now left that location. So these ships are now back in here. So this is now active pause. I can click on this. I can click on the ship and tell it move over there. I can do whatever I want with it. So there is no, like, with the active pause. I think I found something that I couldn't do when it was paused, but there's not much. So if you're playing single player, and for me this is critical because I really don't like playing games that are where I'm just clicking on things and trying to keep track of things all the time. It's like, they don't interest me. In multiplayer you can't pause it, but in single player you definitely can. And so yeah, you can do whatever you like with it. So we've been pausing and just going through different bits and pieces. So Minion saying, presuming you're East Coast anyway, if you're West, get to bed. Yeah, no, I wake up very, very early, and so yeah, it's just the start of my day at the moment. So I've been up for a couple of hours before I started streaming it, but it's just getting ready for different bits and pieces and doing the thumbnail and stuff like that. But no, this is. I've got to say, I really, really like it, and it's sort of funny because it's so the graphics. I could just look at them all day long. They just are beautiful. It's and I can't stress how impressed I am. It seems like such a small thing, but if I zoom in on, as soon as I start, like, I'm going to zoom on this bit of space. I'll zoom on this space over here. So if I click on there, I can zoom into there, no worries at all. But if I'm near a ship, it's going to then pick up an object or a ship. So if I try to zoom, let's just say I try to zoom, because it'll follow. Whoops! Oh, hang on, didn't mean to do that. If I go in and zoom into, say, in the middle here, it will just find something to latch onto, and I like it. It's not something it's very, very natural. And so if I click on, like, if I start to zoom in on any of these, it's just going to keep on going to the next one along. And so even though it doesn't show up in here, this is something I've never seen in a game, like in one of these sort of games where there's a lot going on. But I don't know if there's other games that do it, but this is so, for me, really like you don't even notice that it's doing it. But it's such a big user interface or user experience plus. It's unbelievable because it just means that you're not frantically trying to latch onto ships. It just happens automatically. It is just brilliant. There's the little things like that, because I know what it's like when you're playing other games where you're trying to navigate and you just can't. It just doesn't lock in. But this is, as I say, this is the first time I've actually come across this in a game. You know, like once I start to hook in with things, it just hooks in and away we go. You know, we're right there with the ship. And I'm thinking even of, you know, doing 3D work and trying to sort of navigate around 3D models. It's it's like a smart zoom. It's like, well, it's even beyond that. It's like smart panning. It's everything. it's like a smart focus, I guess. The only problem is that this game now have ruined every other game with it. Great user. So the only problem is that this game now has ruined every other game with its great user interface. this game is going to be one of these games. It's going to be very, very easy to play in terms of the experience. It's going to be enjoyable, just for all these little things. But anyway, guys, I do actually have to wind up, so we'll actually leave it here. I will be playing more of this, like a lot more of this on my Twitch channel, and I'll be coming back and playing more here on YouTube at different times as well. But if you do, as I said before, if you do want to sort of look at more content over the coming weeks, I will be streaming this fairly regularly on twitch.tv/DasTactic. So hopefully, if you're interested in seeing more content, by all means, sort of leave comments as well. But I got to say, I'm super impressed. Oh, here we go. This one is actually now upgraded. This is the ship that we were focused on in through here. So we've got the nanite armor. Hang on, that's not oh, there we go, nanite armor. There we go. That's going to give us initial strength, elite bombers. Hit the repair cloud. I think I'll go the armor in this instance. We'll just get it upgraded. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. It's one of these things that I just feel like playing a little bit longer all the time, but I really do have to get going. But for me, it's massive thumbs up in terms of the experience and the pacing, the lack of micromanagement unless you want to do it. It's, as I say, just a work of art. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.